Padres open a weekend series with the Cubs, and Yonder Alonso responsible for the 2 runs on Wednesday that led the Padres to a 2-1 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates, ready to go. And Donnie Murphy, 16 games with the Cubs. He said 8 home runs. Chicago, a team that plays better on the road than they do at home at Wrigley Field. As we welcome you to beautiful Petco Park in downtown San Diego, first of 3 with the Cubs. The Cubs and the Padres. And a happy Friday to you all with Mark Grant and Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn. Dick Enberg, we're pleased that you're with us. Interesting pitching matchup tonight because of the records of these 2 men against the opponents tonight. Edwin Jackson, 0-4 lifetime against the Padres. Edinson Volquez, 5-0 against the Cubs.
We know one thing's for sure, gentlemen, that both these pitchers can turn it around on the dime because they've been around the block a few times and they've put some pretty good things together. Edwin Jackson, the word for him this season, inconsistent. Someone like Edinson Volquez. He had a 6 or 7 run inning game run there where he did really, really well. But he's really trying to concentrate on throwing 2 seamers, get a lot more ground balls for Edwin Jackson. And for Edinson Volquez, guys, it's all about strike one. If he can get strike one, then go to his secondary pitches, we know that he could be lights out for the Padres.
Volquez trying to win his 10th of the year to become the first Padre pitcher in double figures. Yonder Alonso, we've talked all year long, Tony, about his potential to be a 300 hitter.
Yeah, and he drove in the only 2 runs the other day against the Pirates. And what I like here, the last couple of times I've seen him swing the bat, he's a little bit more under control, trying to shorten it up, maybe not trying to overswing, and he's starting to have some success. He's been their most consistent guy all year long, and I expect coming down the stretch here, he's probably going to be better.
And, you know, he seems to enjoy the opportunity to pick up those money hits, those quality hits that win ball games, as he did on Wednesday. And with more on that, we'll be going to Laura McKeeman. The Yonder Alonso RBI story continues at Petco Park in San Diego. The Cubbies are in town.
Padres open a 3-game series with the Cubs, and first pitch is just around the corner. Well, Yonder Alonso provided all the offense the Padres needed on Wednesday for a win and says he really relishes those opportunities to drive in his teammates. He says as opposed to an at-bat where he doesn't have guys in front of him, that focus is more on just working the at-bat, working the pitcher. But when he does have runners in scoring position, his focus intensifies, and he really wants to just get a good pitch to hit and put the ball in play. Bud Black said he and the coaching staff have been impressed with Alonso's improvements at the plate in our Geico quote of the game.
His at-bats are better. You know, the wilder swings early in the count, expanding the zone, much better at doing the things you shouldn't do when you're trying to knock in a run. And he's getting much closer to doing the things you're supposed to do more consistently to be a run producer. So that's a good thing.
Yonder Alonso will look to continue his success offensively tonight in the Padres lineup to get some run support for Edinson Volquez, who's on the mound against the Cubs. He has an opportunity to stay perfect against this team. And when we come back in Petco Park, it's Padres baseball with Dick Enberg, Mark Grant, and Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Odino.
Cough. Okay.
How you doing? Thanks. It's good to be back. Nice. Nice.
Friday nights are fun nights at Petco Park in downtown San Diego as we welcome you aboard. First of a 3-game series. Padres have yet to take the field, but let's check on the Cubs lineup. Brought to you by Hyundai. This is how Dale Swaim has them hitting tonight. Starlin Castro at shortstop. Then former Padre Anthony Rizzo has 20 home runs. Dioner Navarro has a career high home run total himself with 11 this year. Nate Scherholtz, he's found home run power. In fact, the Cubs are second in the National League in home runs to Atlanta. Then it's Junior Lake. Donnie Murphy, 16 games, 8 home runs, followed by Brian Bogasevich, then Darwin Barney and Edwin Jackson. Defensively, the Padres are aligned this way. It's brought to you by the Aramco Group. Denorfia in left, Amarista in center, and Venable in right. Headley and Alonso will occupy the corners of the infield with Forsythe and Jerko up the middle. Nick Hundley behind the plate for Edinson Volquez.
Well, the right-hander Edinson Volquez, hey, we talked about it in the pregame show. We talked about it in open. It's worth mentioning again. You see his season numbers, but great numbers against the Chicago Cubs. Yes, he needs to make an adjustment. Last time out wasn't so bad. He needs to cut down on the walks. And the scouting report, avoid deep counts to avoid those walks. Hey, pick up the pace a little bit, right? Don't change your game mechanically. Stay in that good groove, but pick up the pace on the mound. Hopefully it leads to a win for Edson Volquez and the Padres.
And avoid the free ticket. 67 walks allowed this year by Volquez. He's been either in first place or near the lead in the National League in free tickets. Beautiful weather night, just above 70 degrees, a little more breeze than normal. Out of the west-northwest at 12 miles an hour. And we're pleased you've joined us. It's Friday night, the giveaway tonight, the bags, the grocery bags that are green and spirited. Home plate, Jeff Kellogg, Eric Cooper at first, Paul Schreiber and Chad Fairchild on the bases, the umpiring crew. And don't forget tomorrow night, the outstanding embroidered San Diego Ballcats for the first 25,000 here. And then on Sunday, of course, Military Day, and always a great day here at Petco. So the Padres, they split with the Cubs 2-2 way back in April at Wrigley Field.
It seems so long ago, doesn't it?
It was a long time ago. It was winter yet in Chicago.
Yes, it was very cold. And I tell you what, the Chicago people, guys, when they come here to San Diego, Dale Swaim and his coaching staff say nothing but great things, obviously, about the San Diego weather. The perfect night for a baseball game.
Starlin Castro, after 2 sensational years, this young shortstop from the Dominican Republic, now only 23, he slipped down in his numbers, hitting just .238. Volquez gets us underway, and the first pitch is in there. 93 on the fastball to the man who led the National League in hits at age 21 2 years ago. Strike two. Nice strike from Jeff Kellogg.
Hey, there's a Cub fan, or is that a Bear?
That might be a Chicago Bears fan. He's misplaced. Reached out and protects. 0-2 the count remains. Anthony Rizzo, long ball hitting first baseman, average not what he'd like, but 20 home runs for Rizzo, who went to the Cubs in the 1-for-1 swap with Andrew Kashner coming to San Diego. They'll be matched up on Sunday.
You know, guys, if there's one thing I think we should look forward to in this series about the Cubs is concerned, it's not so much the Cubs that have been around for a while as a Cub like Castro and Rizzo, of course, in the trade, but the people that they brought in, the players that they brought in that are making a difference. Scherholtz, Junior Lake, Donnie Murphy, Brian Bogusevic. I mean, these guys, you know, minor league deals, free agents, and they're really picking up the slack.
They're going to find out whether they can cut it.
Got to keep an eye on those guys this series.
Two-hopper to Headley. Castro a good runner and safe. Throw by Headley just high enough that Yonder Alonso had to lift his foot off the bag, and the game opens on an error. Charge to Headley.
Well, Chase Headley has made this play thousands of times. He works underneath a little bit, and you know what? It's an easy throw. It's a play that he's made off the bag, and that's the right call, it looks like, by Eric Cooper over at first base. He indicated he was up off the bag. You know, if you bounce it to Alonso, you got a chance. He can only jump so high.
And good hustle by Castro on what was a routine ground ball to third. So he's aboard to start the game, and here's Anthony Rizzo. Leads the club with 20 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Put that in perspective, the Padres leader in RBIs, Alonso and Quinton, at 44 runs driven in. And with his souvenir here in the first inning.
One of the things we saw here on this ground ball that Castro beat out is, as a base runner, you never want to hit the top of the bag. You know, the quickest point to the bag is the very front of it. You want to hit the front of the bag. You don't want to hit on top. Don't want to hit the back.
And youngsters tend to want to hit the middle of the base.
Exactly, and especially in today's game where, you know, a lot of the kids wear those plastic bottom shoes. When you hit the top of the bag like that, you just, you know, you're almost just begging for an accident to happen. So hit the front part of the bag.
Rizzo against San Diego pitching since the trade this year, 6 for 28. Hits that to left field, slicing toward the line. Long run for Denorfia, and it falls foul.
Hey, Tony, here's what you're talking about when you talk about hitting first base as a runner. You want to hit it right here, right?
Yeah.
Now watch Castro as he's going to do it on top of that. Roll it, Robbie. Watch. You want to hit it here. Look at where he hits it. Look at that. That's a bang-bang play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So good point there, Hall of Famer.
Quickest point to the bag is the front. Very short front corner.
1-2 now to Rizzo. Lines it to left field for a base hit. So an error and a single, and the Cubs have something brewing early.
Nice job here by Rizzo. He didn't try to do too much. Backdoor breaking ball, stays on it, just kind of slices it into left field for a base hit.
Now that, to me, Tony, is not a traditional Anthony Rizzo swing, but yet it tells you something that he's evolving to a type of hitter when he gets a certain type of pitch, trying to go the other way nicely.
Well, you have to. It's not just about hitting home runs, especially, and he's in the 2 spot, which is not a spot he's used to hitting in. In the 2 spot, you're going to have to move the ball around a little bit. He did a nice job just taking that ball the other way.
Deanna Navarro, switch hitting catcher. Natural right-handed hitter, learned to switch hit when he was 13. Infield looking for a double play chance. That's in there. Fastball. The Cubs, with a man in scoring position with no one out here in the first inning, have the very worst record with runners in scoring position in the majors, hitting just .222 for Dale Swain.
Because of that, I wouldn't look for them to bunt in this situation.
Yeah.
They're going to send some guys up there and let them swing the bat.
Line drive, left center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Up with it, Amarista. Here comes his throw to the plate, and it's not in time. The Cubs lead 1-0. Navarro knocks in his 26th run of the year. So error, single, and the Cubs jump on the board.
Right off the end. Throws it in the center field. Castro had to hold for a second to see if that ball was going to be caught, but you see he still scores easily.
Well, it's 2 times this inning we saw Rizzo, the left-handed hitter, go the opposite way. Navarro, the switch hitter from the left side, going to the shortstop side of second base. Like you said, Tony, try not to do too much there. Just putting the ball in play.
Brings up Nate Scherholz, former San Francisco Giant. Was on the Giants World Series championship team in 2010. He's had a good year with the Cubs. Good stop Hundley, hitting .274 with 18 home runs.
Well, the last thing that Edinson Volquez wants to do is have the wheels come off in the first inning. And a little help there on that last pitch, kind of yanked it. Nick having to go to his right, preventing a second, third situation. Keeping that double play in order.
A little extra on that fastball. Yeah. Junior Lake, the 23-year-old center fielder who has excited Cubs fans since being called up a month or so ago, is on deck. He's hitting .314. I guess Junior Lake, because the Great Lakes are already taken. They're around Chicago. Yeah. Foul back.
I like it. And you know the best way to remember the Great Lakes?
You've got a little tip here.
It's
right?
a little acronym. HOMES. HOMES.
All right.
Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior.
See, folks, and there's no extra charge for this information.
I learned that back in school.
Of course you did.
What up, Holmes?
A ball, 2 strikes to Scherholz. Padres still yearning for a ground ball here. Help out Volquez.
Oh, way out of whack on that breaking ball there.
Run, of course, is unearned. Now it's a matter of limiting the damage.
Yeah, you're trying real hard right here to get a ground ball somewhere and possibly turn 2.
And Shearholtz this year, guys, have grounded into 5 double plays. Number 6 would be good here. Got to get that breaking ball down.
Nice play made by that fan.
The breaking ball before this last pitch was way up and out of the zone. Look at this breaking ball here. He wants it down and in. Nick Hundley set up down and in. He leaves it belt buckle high on the outside part of the plate.
Scatter shot fox tracks here in this confrontation. That ball hit deep to right, carrying into the jacket. Petco Porch, a 3-run home run for Nate Shearholtz, his 19th of the season, and the Cubs have jumped out to an early 4-0 lead.
Another hanging breaking ball, 3 in a row. This one out in front, Shearholtz. It speeds up his bat. And Dick and Tony, this is one of the guys we've been talking about that have been paying some dividends in a Cub uniform.
He only wanted that ball in. He wanted it to end up getting off the plate. Instead, it was out over the plate.
Well, the fireworks on Friday night are supposed to be after the game, not in the first inning. Forsythe, a tough play, and it's too late as Junior Lake beats it out. Infield hit for Lake. So 5 straight Cubs reaching safely. The error, single home run, infield hit.
Forsythe had to go to the backhand side. And Lake could really run.
Yep.
Put the pressure on him. He knew he had to hurry to have a chance to get him, but on the short hop, Lake's able to beat it out.
And that's where the arm of the shortstop really comes into play. You need that extra special, I'm not saying Logan Forsythe doesn't have a good arm, but still. That's one of those plays when they go to the right, you really need to hump that up and have that cannon of an arm to even try to make it close. But I don't know if Cal Ripken Jr. could have made that play going to his right. You can disagree with me.
Okay.
With Junior Lake.
He'd have gone to the backhand and planted it.
Yeah.
That would have made perhaps the difference to be able to plant and throw.
Yeah. The other thing is he was really great at putting himself in a position where he didn't have to run that far to get a ball. He could read his own pitcher and realize what he was trying to do and make his own adjustments.
Well, here's Donnie Murphy. In 16 games, he has been as hot as anyone in the big leagues. 8 home runs. He's a relative journeyman. Played parts of 7 seasons with Kansas City, Oakland, Miami. His career batting average is .205. Suddenly he goes to Chicago and hitting like Jimmy Fox. Hack Wilson.
Pretty good season for Hack Wilson, wasn't it? Was it 190? 100,
wow, yeah.
180 something?
191,
is it?
It's a lot of RBIs. Has stood for a long time, too.
It's a lot of RBIs, isn't it?
He did 154 games?
I think so.
That's right.
64.
Out of play, 1-2. Well, Murphy was a star for a while last night at Wrigley Field in the 9th inning against Steven Strasburg. That home run tied the game. But the Nationals would prevail in extra innings.
Tough day at Wrigley yesterday. You had the rain delay. You had the little tease there at the end. Then they had to wait around another hour or two before taking off from O'Hare to Northside and that. And then flying all night to get to San Diego.
Well, it hasn't bothered their performance thus far.
See, I always thought secretly these guys loved playing night games.
Yeah.
That's what as a player we always thought, because they played so many day games, they really looked forward to going on the road and things.
Oh,
like that.
I would agree with you there, Tony. Absolutely.
Ooh, small of the bat. And the parade of base runners for the Cubs continues. 6 in a row. Still no one out.
Well, you know, this is one of those situations, guys, where if you're a long man in the bullpen, you kind of start taking the jacket off and maybe start getting loose as this changeup gets away. Right in the kidney shot to Donnie Murphy. And that's a sensitive area there in the back. So you might see a little action in that Padre bullpen.
Tim Stauffer first up. It started innocently enough with Starlin Castro's ground ball to Headley, but his high throw pulled Alonso off the bag for the error. Then Rizzo singled to left. Navarro singled to left center, knocking in the run. Shearholtz a 3-run home run just into the Petco porch. Infield hit Lake. Murphy hit by a pitch. This is Brian Bogusevich. He comes out swinging from his heels. Former Tulane Green Wave star. He's a Chicago lad. Went to high school in the Windy City. Former Houston Astro.
And the workload for Edinson Volquez. The next pitch, number 25. Still nobody out.
Never a good sign when your manager has his arms crossed and his lips are disappearing.
Yeah.
That'll be out of play, 1-2.
I remember one time Dennis Rasmussen, Tony, you were on the team. Dennis Rasmussen was starting for the Padres at Jack Murphy Stadium. So my job was to bring the coffee down to the bullpen. So first pitch, you know, you hear the crowd. Razzy's pitching, fixing the coffee in the clubhouse. We had about 5-6 cups of coffee in a tray. So I take remember the tunnel, Tony? You could take it all the way down to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click. And then there was that little ramp down to the bullpen, right? So I get down near the ramp.
Another base hit, a shot over the head of Forsythe, and that one's going to go all the way to the wall, or nearly so. Amarista finally gets to it, but by the time he does, 2 more runs score on a triple by Bogusevich. It's 6-0.
Well, Darren Ballsy finding out if Tim Stauffer is in fact ready to go. Another hanging breaky ball over the heart of the zone.
Wanted that ball in and made a mistake out over the plate. And it was hit hard. Will Venable couldn't cut that ball off. And that ball was hit hard. Once that ball gets over Jerko's head at second base, it's off to the races.
Murphy showing good speed too as he circles from first base, and Bogusevich with a triple. 7 up, 7-6 have scored, and with no one out, Bogusevich there at third base. Darwin Barney, the number 8 hitter, a .215 average for the former Oregon State star. Infield in.
So I got 5 or 6 coffees in the tray.
Oh, that's right.
Going down the ramp, click, click, click. All of a sudden I hear Mark Davis, top of his lungs. Mud, you're up. And I'm not kidding. And I'm like, yeah, right, save it. He goes, really? They just called. You got to get hot. I threw the coffee up against the wall, did a little skateboard down the ramp, grabbed a rock.
What was the score at that point?
He eventually got out of the first inning, but then the first time around they pinch hit for him, and I was in the game.
Yeah.
So it can happen that quickly.
Yeah, the life of a long man is kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
It's like being a substitute teacher. You're always ready for the call, and they don't call. Then when you kind of have a nice night before, that's when you're called to the classroom.
That's a great analogy.
You got 5 cups of coffee in your hand.
Sorry, guys, got to go make your own.
3-0 now as Volquez. This is going to qualify as his worst start as a major leaguer. He's had some rough games, but a first inning with no one out and 6 runs home, and a 4-pitch walk to Barney. Check that. He did throw one strike in the 5 pitches, and Barney's aboard, first and third. Maybe he can get the pitcher out. Edwin Jackson is the batter.
Like you see Glenn Hoffman on the step there telling the infield what to do in the event. Probably going to bunt him over.
Yep. This is the most runs the Cubs have scored in any inning this year, and there's still no one out after 6 runs have dented the plate. First and third.
That is the strange thing is that you can routine ground ball to Headley. Who would have thought that that would have been the thing that sparked this big inning? And now up 6-0. You can bet Jackson's going to bunt and try to get Barney in the scoring position.
3 for 41 this year for Jackson.
And he wants to bunt it down the first base line here.
No. Swain figuring, hey, things are going so well, let him take a cut.
Yeah. He said, yeah, you're right. Figured, hey, I might get first pitch fastball right here. Might as well be ready to swing.
Jackson, without throwing a pitch, already has a 6-0 lead.
Well, he was originally selected as an outfielder by Los Angeles back in 2001, Edwin Jackson. So I'm sure he's familiar with swinging that shillelagh.
Breaking ball for a strike, 0-2.
Well, it really seems like Edwin Jackson should be older than he really is because he's been around the big league game for a long, long time.
29 years of age.
He's only 29.
I know, you're
29 years old.
Came up with the Dodgers early. They drafted him 12 years ago as an 18-year-old. Born in Germany. Dad was in the Army. Served 23 years. U.S. Army Sergeant First Class. Retired. While he was serving in Germany. Edwin born there.
Tell you, it's a pretty special story because to win your major league debut on your 20th birthday, that's pretty special.
Yeah.
And of course, he's thrown a no-hitter. It's one of those 8-walk no-hitters.
Those 140 some odd pitches, no hitters too.
A.J. Hinch was the manager of the Diamondbacks when he no hit the Rays. And Dick, here's what you were talking about earlier.
He did get a couple of outs 2010 with the Reds and gave up 5 earned runs, no outs so far, and 6 runs, 5 at the Mern. Headley will go to the plate, and they run correctly the man back to third, and that forces the Cubs not to advance an extra base. So they get Bogusevich. 1 out. Safe on the fielder's choice is Jackson.
I really thought Chase Elliott was going to go for the double play. Well, they get him in a rundown. They do get 1 out. Still a double play in order.
5-2-5.
And the Cubs would have tacked on another run, so he would get 2 outs and give up a run.
Well, he didn't break as soon as that ball was hit, so Chase really could have checked him through at the second and possibly, gotten a double play and not had him break for the plate.
So Barney moves to second. Jackson safe on the fielder's choice, and here's Castro, the 10th man to bat in this first inning. .36 pitch first inning. Four games at Wrigley, 6 for 17 for the shortstop. Right field, Venable into foul territory for the catch. Tagging is Barney. He'll go to third. There's 2 away. Well, it could be one of those games where even though the hill is becoming much steeper for the Padres to climb, they've got their 9 full innings to go.
And you know, Tony, you've been in this situation many times. I certainly have been in this situation. The key is you can't lose that energy in the dugout.
No.
You know, when you go back in that dugout, you can't lose that energy. You have to start playing, thinking, physically, mentally, like it's nothing still. Like Dick said, tough hill to climb.
Yeah, the good thing is it's early in the game. You haven't gotten a chance to swing the bat yet, and so as long as you shut them down from scoring runs, we called it the picket fence game. Let's play the picket fence game. Put a run up every inning. Get yourself back in it.
Build that picket fence, huh?
Yep.
Rizzo singled and scored earlier in this frame. That's in there. 1-1. '40th pitch coming up. So regardless, even if Volquez gets out of this inning now, his time may be much shorter than Bud Black wanted. And Tim Stauffer has to figure I'm going to be in the game sooner or later tonight.
Yeah, you figure he's going to get in, but if Volquez can get out of this inning with the 6.
It's not a bad pitch there. Two-seamer apparently just missed the corner.
Get guys out. He might eat some innings here for the Padres.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, maybe get you to the 5th, 6th.
Boy, to be a pitcher, I'm talking any level, and you throw 41 pitches. I mean, the concentration you're trying to maintain, physically, that without a rest, I mean, that is a workload.
And Rizzo with the count in his favor, 3-1, ready to pull the trigger. The man has 20 home runs. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. And the bases are loaded. So 2 walks from Volquez and a hit batsman. And here comes Bud Black. He's seen enough. A wobbly start for Edinson Volquez. Inning, 2 outs, bases loaded, and Edinson Volquez leaving the game. You notice as Bud Black came out to take Volquez out of the game, as Edinson left him out, he gave Bud a little tap on the shoulder as if to say, I'm sorry, Skip. Wanted to do it. He's such a likable guy, Volquez, and he just is so hard to figure that he can be so good on one occasion and then be a pitcher like this on another.
Well, Tim Stauffer now will try to give some innings to Bud Black and the Padres. And Dick, you're absolutely right when you say that about Edinson. tonight was just one of those nights. So frustrating for everybody because we've seen him when he's had his electric stuff.
Yep. But we've also seen him when he was like he was
Absolutely.
tonight.
You picked up on it with the curveball.
He could not get the breaking ball where Hundley wanted it. He wanted it down and in.
Could never make the adjustment.
And he left it out over the plate. And good hitters, when you leave balls out over the plate, are going to take advantage of it. And that's, you have to be able to put the ball where the catcher's asking for it. And I know it sounds like it's something that's easy to do. It's not. But if you're a professional pitcher, that's your job. That's what you're going to have to do in order to be successful.
12th man to bat, bases loaded, and Navarro takes a cut at the first offering from Tim Stauffer. He singled in a run, the first run of this first inning. And now a second time at bat with Nate Sherholtz, the cleanup hitter, on deck. Barney at third, the pitcher Jackson at second, Rizzo at first. A ball and a strike.
Well, the good thing for Tim Stauffer is that he had plenty of time to get hot. I mean, we saw him warming up out there. He's used to this type of role. Now he can act as if it's a start.
After he gets out of this first inning, that's exactly right.
Sure.
It's almost like a start. He's coming out of the bullpen, having to come out of the stretch, but
2-1.
And he's coming out of the bullpen having to throw strikes because there's nowhere to put anybody. But if he can get out of this first inning, it would be just like a start for him.
Nice pitch in under the hands of Navarro. 2-2.
Looks like either a cutter or a type of slider. Down and in.
A little cutter.
Yep.
And that's where Hundley wanted that ball on Rizzo early in the game. He slapped it in the left and he wanted it in there on Sherholtz, and he left it out over the plate, went out of the ballpark.
Remains 2-2 on Navarro.
Tony, how many times did you do this off the shin?
Plenty. Not off the shin.
Off the foot?
Not off the back part of the shin. I've done it off the foot.
Yeah.
Shin burger a few times. Oh, those hurt. And you're trying not to show fans that it's very painful.
Mm-hmm. You know what it's like? It's like going to your dad's toolbox.
Right. You open it up.
You pull
you
out
grab a hammer? Yeah, I thought.
And just hit the top of your foot as hard as you can. That's what it's like.
I would say it's more like, you're in a bowling alley and you drop the ball on your foot.
Oh, too much information. 2-2. Back over the mound. That's a tough play for Forsythe, but not a good runner. Navarro, especially with that foul tip. And Stauffer finally bails the Padres out of a 6-run first. Lexus dealer, inviting you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. By Farmers Insurance, contact your local agent at 888-96 Farmers. And by the Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury. So Edwin Jackson gets ready to work. Pretty nice to have your teammates present a gift-wrapped box of 6 runs for you before you throw your first pitch. Toyota brings you the Padres lineup. Will Venable will start things with Chris Denorfia, then Yonder Alonso. Jed Jerko in the cleanup hole. Chase Headley bats 5th. Alexi Amarista, then Logan Forsythe. Nick Hundley behind the plate hitting 8th, and then Tim Stauffer.
And the scouting report for Edwin Jackson. The velocity is key early. He needs to come out, like we talked about Edson Volquez, 94, 95, and maintain it. Got to get the sinker up if you're these Padre hitters. Mentioned it earlier about the 2-seamer, getting a lot of grounders. He had that stretch of 6 or 7 starts where he was really money. And the part of the reason was because of that 2-seam sinker of his.
Defensively, the Cubs align themselves this way. Brought to you by Hyundai. Bogusevich, Lake, and Sherholtz in the outfield. Around the horn, it's Murphy, Castro, Barney, and Rizzo. Navarro behind the plate for the 29-year-old Edwin Jackson. Again, San Diego again. He's 0 for 4 lifetime with a 5.68 ERA. And Padres have hit .312, a lusty .312 against Jackson. Let's see if they can generate that kind of offensive power and chip away at this 6-0 lead. Venable, since the All-Star game, hitting .348.
Padre offense is much like it was for the Cubs offense. You got to make Edwin Jackson throw strikes.
It's no secret the Padres were bidding along with the Cubs for the services of the free agent Edwin Jackson in the offseason. And Jackson wanted a 4-year deal, and the Padres were not willing to go that long in a contract. Out of play. The Cubs did. 4 years, $52 million. He's won 7 games this year. So far, he's no bargain for Chicago.
Early in the season, he was like 0-7, 0-8. We were really complaining.
Yeah, very inconsistent. Tough start for the right-hander. He'll still get it up there in the mid-90s, 95, 96. Slider, curveball, changeup.
I think the thing he's going to do is give you innings. He's going to give you 200 innings every year. If your offense can put some runs on the board.
Strikes out Venable to open the Padre first inning.
He's going to have a chance to keep you in ball games, but he's not going to overpower you as much anymore.
Chris Denorfia, the left fielder, steps up. He's 4 for 9 lifetime against Jackson with a home run. Chris in a current 7-game hitting streak.
Tony, how tough is it as a hitter when you have a deficit like this to maintain that mental toughness going up and trying to not give away at bats?
It's pretty easy because it's happened in the first inning. You know, your mindset really hasn't changed very much.
Castro, 6-3 on the put out of Denorfia. Let's go now for a Fox Sports 1 game break. Yeah, that's a quote walk, unquote off win for the Phillies. Yeah. 2 quick outs here in the first for the Padres brings up Yonder Alonso. Yonder, the Padres' top hitter on the season with that .289 average, and his 44 runs batted in, now tied with Carlos Quentin for the club lead. Pulls that one foul. And he has a home run against Jackson at Wrigley in April.
It's a nice swing right there. And every time I see him, I talk to him about that exact swing. got really good power the other way.
That was a breaking ball as well, taken at the opposite field.
And I'm not trying to start anything, but I just feel like sometimes in this ballpark, guys are afraid to do that.
And that takes Rizzo right to the bag for an easy put out. So quite a contrast in the two halves of the first inning tonight.
News for the Padres in the form of Kyle Blanks, who could return to the club soon. He ran the bases today, and then Bud Black said they are planning to send him out on a rehab assignment tomorrow, where he may start in Lake Elsinore for a couple of days and then head to AAA Tucson. But either way, he will be playing in the minor leagues somewhere tomorrow. And whether he comes back September 1st or not is still to be determined. They want him to be completely better, so they may wait until the end of the minor league season so he can get the at-bats that he needs and just get back into playing shape. And of course, there is a chance that he could come back earlier than September 1st if an injury happens here or another situation, guys. But very exciting for Kyle Blanks, who's been chomping at the bit to get back out there.
Well, Blanks able to play in only 67 games and produced 8 home runs. And the Achilles injuries are very tricky. You don't want to push it too soon, or you could be out another year. Schierholtz, and the count 1-2. Well, Schierholtz didn't hit it far, but he found the Petco porch with 2 men on in the first inning. His 19th home run of the season, and that gave the Cubs a 4-0 lead. They'd go on to get 2 more on the triple by Brian Bogusevich and a 6-run first. Last 6 games with a couple of home runs.
A pretty productive season for Schierholtz this year. Only 362 at bats, 19 homers.
And he goes after a ball in the dirt, and Stauffer has his first strikeout.
I'm sure he's one of those guys whose name came up at the trade deadline. Good pitch by Stauffer there.
See what happens when you get to 2 strikes. You expand the zone. Little cut fastball down on the knees, has to protect it, and a nice pick by Nick Hundley.
Just a footnote on Schierholtz. He was traded by the Giants to Philadelphia a year ago in a trade that involved Hunter Pence at the trade deadline going out to San Francisco. And he had hit .251 in San Francisco, .273 Philadelphia, but between the two teams only 6 home runs in part-time duty. But he's found a friendly home in the friendly confines here on the north side. Junior Lake, ground ball to short. Forsythe across, 2 away. 3 straight, retired by Stauffer, coming in relief of starter Edinson Volquez.
Well, hopefully Tim Stauffer can get in the groove, right?
Well, just hold them at bay. Give yourself and give your offense a chance to kind of get you back in it.
And with the way this one's going, you never know. Tim Stauffer might get a couple of at-bats if Bud Black elects to stay with him. So we can go, possibly into the 5th or 6th inning.
Murphy was hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored. Volquez went 2/3 of an inning, 6 runs, 5 earned, 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 hit batsman, no strikeouts. Well, tomorrow night, game 2 of the series, 5:30 game, 5 o'clock for Padres pregame show here on Fox Sports San Diego. Eric Stoltz against Jeff Samardzija, one of the top strikeout pitchers in the National League. Samardzija, the former star at Notre Dame. And with Stoltz on the mound, a southpaw, that'll be the first time that the Cubs have faced a left-handed batter after 15 straight starts by righties. Didn't go.
It's weird how that works out, too, during the course of the season. You got 15 straight games facing a right-handed pitcher. Yeah. So, Rizzo, the left-handed hitters are having a field day. They're just thrilled.
Sure.
All these right-handers are coming in a row.
And the Cubs are 16-19 this year versus southpaws. So below 500.
Hard to believe that they have the worst home record in the National League, the Cubs. Yes, every visiting team loves to go to Wrigley to hit. The last 19 games at home, they're 3-16. Did he hit him again? We're going to get a little tired of that. Donnie Murphy, obviously, they want to pitch him inside. Hit twice in a row. He'd been hit twice all season long. Well, he's been a short season, 16 games.
In the left tricep, bicep area, and it'll make him forget about that kidney shot, although the kidney shot's a lot more painful than that one right there.
They all hurt.
Where's the worst place that you got hit? As
a hit on the funny bone.
Oh, not so funny.
Well, it was not. It was not.
Not humorous at all.
Not at all. And your hand just goes numb.
Yeah.
We're all trying to be macho and not rub it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Bogusevich, a 2-run triple in the first inning.
You ever get hit by a pitch, man?
Oh yeah, got hit in the leg, my debut.
On the comeback?
And no, by a pitcher when I was in the box, right in the leg.
They were hitting you at your debut.
I know. Can you believe it? It's because I hit one of their guys.
Oh.
So it was retaliation.
Oh, okay.
That's right at second baseman Jerko, and he will lead off the Padres half of the second inning with Headley and Amarista to follow. Jerko on a bit of a home run tear here in the month of August. Chicago. Ichiro, 4,000 hits. There it is at Yankee Stadium. With the Seattle Mariners, an automatic 200-hit season when you had him in the lineup, and he becomes the third. Pete Rose, Ty Cobb, and Ichiro to collect 4,000 major league hits. Now that with an asterisk, because as you can see, 1,278 of those were in Japan. What are your thoughts about him being included in that 4,000 hit club, Tony?
Well, you can take those 1,278, kick them to the side. Because
I thought you were going somewhere else. I was going to say, you go, T.
They don't count.
You can take them and
they don't count.
Okay.
Everything he's done in the big leagues, you should count. The 10 200-hit seasons, I don't know how many batting titles he's won. He's the quickest to get to 27, whatever that number was, 27, 21. He's done it in 13 years. And we should applaud that. I don't think.
Is it good enough for him to be in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
What he's done
he's
here?
a first ballot. To me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But to compare what he's done with Pete Rose, Ty Cobb, who did it all in the major leagues, I think is wrong. Now, I understand it's New York. You want to celebrate the fact that you're combining, because it's professional. He said it's professional. I understand that, but to put him ahead of Pete Rose and Ty Cobb, I guess I'm kind of old school in that sense.
I agree with you, Dick. What do you think?
Well, I can imagine Tony going to Japan when he was 40. He'd get another 1,000 or so, and he'd have 4,000.
Well, a lot of guys, not a lot of guys. There's a few guys.
Fly ball Jerko near the barrier, and even with the long reach, Rizzo can't get in that far because Laura McKeeman makes the play.
Guys, that one was all the way up there. I kept thinking it was going to go somewhere else, and then had to take a little dive.
Wow. Hit Lenny. Lenny Ignelzi right in the back. The photog.
I protected Lenny.
Yeah.
Hey.
And, of course, Lenny's always in a good mood.
Yeah.
He's not happy with me.
And another foul. Jerko, 4 in a row now.
A lot of guys try to extend their career going to Japan. One of the coaches for the Cubs, Rob Deere, second hitting coach for the Cubs, he had 853 hits in the major leagues. His career, right? Giants, Brewers, Padres at one time. And he got 3 hits in Japan. So he's in the 855 hit club. So we should include Robbie in that exclusive club, the 855 hit club.
I'm sure if you combine his hits in the major leagues and the minor leagues, he's going to get over 1,000. But we're talking about the major leagues. We're not talking about the Japanese leagues the Mexican league. We're talking about major league.
I agree.
Line drive, base hit. Jed Jerko has the first Padre hit. A sharp single leading off the second inning. Worked hard. Fouled off 4-5.
He kept battling until he got something he could handle. And again, it's a miss in the middle of the plate. Guevara wanted that ball away, and instead it was in the middle of the plate.
Some serious topspin too, Tony.
Do what you do.
Off that bat of Jerko.
Now here's where the Padres, down 6 early, even if they get 1 run out of this inning, start nibbling. Chase Headley needs 1 more hit for his 100th this year. He's a career 287 hitter in August, but this year at 239, and his average down to 235.
How about this way of thinking early in this ball game? So much baseball left, obviously. So early, you try to get in the slam range, right? Get 2, maybe 3, right? Well, you got to hold them at 6.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. But try to get in slam range the first 3 innings, possibly 4 innings, to get into striking distance with 1 swing of the bat.
Look at the alignment here. Third baseman Murphy is way off the line at third, and then they've bunched the 2 middle infielders in double play position. Then there's a fairly good size hole on the right side with Rizzo holding on the runner.
And so if you're Chase Headley, you have options. You can look for a ball to try to hook in the hole between first and second, or you could back a ball up and hit a ball inside third. Now, if you're really savvy, you could drop a bunt down the third base line, and you could basically crawl to first base. And all you're trying to do is keep throwing up quality at bats. Keep giving yourself opportunities to put runs on the board.
2-1. throwing the ball away from Headley, even though the alignment is for him to pull.
You know what I see on their last swing and pitch? When Chase Headley's swinging the bat well, he doesn't swing at that pitch.
No.
The one up and away like that.
We were watching Chase the second half. He just did not miss. You made a mistake, he made you pay.
To the left side. There's one. And there's two. Late call by first base umpire Cooper as Headley bounces into a 5-4-3 double play. (6-4-3) on the double play.
With the Starlin Castro turned the double play, he was right behind the bag. You see him coming in.
So it's a 5-6-3 double play with Castro covering at second and able to turn two. And Headley continues in a deep throes of the slump. Amarista, last 7 games, batting .381. Carlos Quinton, more and more looks as if Carlos has played his last game this year for the Padres as that knee continues to bother him. Fly ball to left. Voglasevich tucks it away. And we go to the third with the Cubs in front by a half dozen.
The Cubs, of course, their championship drought is definitely in play. Their last title came in 1908, and there's a story behind this. The story goes like this. A big Cubs fan, William Billy Goat Silanes, tried to come to the Game 4 of the 1945 World Series at Wrigley Field and wanted to bring his goat to the game. They wouldn't let the goat in, and William proclaimed, "The Cubs ain't going to win no more," and the team has been cursed ever since. So that inspired our AT&T Twitter poll for today. We're asking which franchise will end their championship drought first. And here are your choices. Cubs drought, Kings drought, their last title was in 1951. Cardinals drought, last title in 1947. And Maple Leafs drought, last title in 1967. So use the hashtag of your selection and then tell us why. And we'll update this later on in the game. Guys, how about that Billy Goat curse?
The Kings meaning the NBA Kings, or the Cardinals, the football
The
Cardinals?
Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah.
All right, that's a little confusing on a baseball game. But
I'm like, the Cardinals, they just won the championship like a couple of years ago, did they? St. Louis Cardinals?
Not the whole ball of wax, though, right?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
so
2008, was it? Who'd they beat? They beat...
I'm not a football guy.
No, we're talking
talking the baseball Cardinals.
The baseball Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. See, I'm confused. Shocker.
But the real message there is, if you don't want to go in the drought and the guy knocks on your door and has a goat, let him in.
Let him in.
Let the goat in there. You know.
How can you not let the goat enjoy a big league ball game?
You know, that's
How you doing?
You eat the Cracker Jacks, he eats the box.
Yeah.
You know. Watch out.
And of course, if you go to Chicago, you have to go to the Billy Goat Tavern, which is the restaurant which the SNL skit, cheeseburger, no Coke, Pepsi, cheeps. That's where that takes place, the Billy Goat Tavern.
Is that right near Wrigley?
It's downtown by the river. It's a great little place. It's like walking into somebody's basement.
You go down Michigan Avenue from where we stay.
Yeah, exactly, Dick. Out of the Weston, Michigan Avenue, take a left, go all the way down to the river.
Past the water tower, keep going.
And it's on the right-hand side. Michigan Avenue, you got to go down the stairs.
Right.
It's below the L train and on the north side of the river.
I was there last time. I wish you'd have told me. I would have checked out the old Billy Code Inn.
It's awesome.
Just inside, Stauffer goes full count to Darwin Barney, who walked the first time. Barney, Jackson, the pitcher, and then the leadoff man Castro here in the top of the third.
A lot of people forget also. Remember, Laura mentioned it. The Cubs won in 1908. They were back-to-back world champions in 07 and 08.
They went to the World Series in 35, lost to the Tigers. Went to the series in 45 and lost to the Tigers. Hank Greenberg had just come back from World War II service, and he and that Newhouser Trucks and Trout staff beat the Cubs. Room service ground ball to Forsythe, and Barney's out to start this third inning. Brings up Jackson, the pitcher.
I know Cubs fans don't like it when you mention 84. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Tell us about it, T.
They don't like that very much at all. Cubs were up 2-0 in 84 against the lowly Padres, and we came back and took 3.
And they had the champagne on ice for 2 straight games.
Yes, they did.
Thinking that they were going to pop the corks.
Yeah, rolled it.
And you had something to say about that, number 19.
There you go.
Saba.
Was it the 5th game where Garvey hit the home run to right center?
No, that was game 4.
Game 4.
Yeah. And if you're a fan sitting at home, and I know you're like me, you can hear the roar of the crowd when that ball went out of the ballpark.
Yeah. I was there that night, sitting up in the right field corner. Yeah,
nice.
It was noisy.
It was unbelievable.
We had a nice meeting today with owner Ron Fowler and the new president and CEO Mike D, and talking about how rich the interest in baseball is here. You give the fans of San Diego a winning team. I mean, they love the experience of coming to Petco Park. Now you give them a winning team. We're going to hear that kind of noise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not worried myself. I know it's sooner or later it's going to happen. Because this town is so tradition rich in baseball that when this team does have some success, they're going to jump behind it like you wouldn't believe.
Jackson, the pitcher, 1-2. He does take good swings. He was drafted as an outfielder by the Dodgers in 2001 and then converted to the pitching position.
And of course, we can't forget there's still 1 game to go, but the team from Chula Vista, right, playing for the United States Championship,
and Tijuana for the International
That's
Championship.
Right.
So they're 10 miles apart.
Yeah.
2-2. Well, Tony knows best of all in surveying the talent here. You could have your choice of just all the players in San Diego County. You'd be pretty happy.
You're absolutely right. And they just keep on coming. It's like I don't know what it's like. It's just unbelievable how we can keep turning out these quality players.
Jackson acting as now he's bluffing. He's going to take off that. He thinks he's walked. It's 3-2, isn't it? The count in that last pitch was 2-2, unless the scoreboard was wrong.
Let's check with our angry statistician who's usually up on top of it. What do you say?
It was ball 4.
Ball 4.
So
is there a way we can double check that?
Is there another statistician in the house? One out walk to the pitcher, and here's the leadoff man, Starlin Castro. You know it's not a good. There's a nice comeback. That's made to order. There's one, and they don't get the double play as Stauffer's throw high to second base. They'll settle for the fielder's choice. Jerko doing a good job of climbing the ladder to keep that out of center field.
Yeah, not only do pitchers have to throw strikes to home plate, but the key there, as Jerko gets the force out, you notice Tim is so used to throwing downhill. He had to throw uphill.
I saw that. Yep.
On that throw to second base. He's going to throw that release point up just a little bit.
And you just don't see pitchers do that very often. Look, he's throwing his ball up the rubber, and it takes off on him. Jerko makes a great play. Comes up with it.
2 outs to Rizzo, who has singled and walked. Returning to Petco Park, provided some early heroics as he was called up last year. He had a home run early, but then struggled. And his batting average not where he would like it to be at .231, but those 20 home runs speak for themselves.
There are the principles in the trade, huh?
Andrew Kastner, he'll pitch on Sunday afternoon against Chris Russin, a left-hander.
We were talking about him shortening his stroke. See the lowest batting averages this season, Dan Uggla. Ricky Roots is a surprise, but Anthony Rizzo, 229, and he's going to get better. I just think he's in the perfect spot.
Watch out into the dugout or the camera well. I guess that stayed in the dugout.
Playing at Wrigley Field, he's going to have success using the whole field there.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is what I see so far is he's shortened his stroke a little bit. And even though those hands start low, as he's getting in position, it's a pretty sure stroke.
It's where those hands are, Tony, when the front foot goes down. Is that correct to say?
Yep.
And look at, he's given up a little on the handle of the bat here with 2 strikes on.
Yep.
And he waves at a bad pitch there as Stauffer bounces one and has his second strikeout. Still 6-0 Chicago.
Calendar, because the Fox Sports Girls Fantasy Football Draft is back. Tune in live to foxsports.com/fantasy draft. It's on August 29th to see who the San Diego girls select, hosted by Patrick O'Neill and fantasy expert Ryan Fowler. The draft kicks off August 29th at 6 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on foxsports.com/fantasy draft. It's that time of the year, guys.
Yeah, we're final third week of the preseason, the exhibition season for the NFL, and start of the year just around the corner.
College starts next week.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Logan Forsythe, Nick Hundley in the pitcher spot here in the third. Forsythe, 7 for the last 14, was 3 for 3 on Wednesday, raising his average up to 228, getting more and more opportunities to play at shortstop. The Cubs will leave after this 3-game series, go up and play the Dodgers 3. The Padres go on the road, 3 at Arizona, and then they go to Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Drive to center. That chases Lake back and makes the catch. Misjudged it a bit as that ball was slicing away from him, and he had to put a couple of quick steps into the pattern in order to collect it.
Tony, I think he made it into a diving play.
Yeah, he did. No, he didn't think that ball was hit that good, and his angle wasn't the greatest angle, but he still had quick enough feet to get back there and make a diving catch. It's the hardest ball for a center fielder. It's that line drive hit right at you. And he kind of froze that first couple of steps, but still quick enough feet to get back there and make the play.
Nick Hundley, career high 10 home runs. And he's 6 for 14 since the Hundleys welcomed daughter Allison a week ago. Right field, that chaser sure holds back a few steps. And there's 2 away.
We talked about this. The Padres putting some good at-bats together here, hitting the ball right on the button. They just happen to be at people. Lake with the diving catch. That ball hit the short holds in right field. Hit right on the screws.
Stauffer's had 7 at-bats, no hits this year. Almost out of the third inning, Jackson with less pitches than Volquez threw in the first inning.
Well, it's pretty easy for Jackson right now. He's got a 6-run lead. He can just pound the strike zone.
And an easy and quick strikeout of Stauffer as the Padres go in order. After 3 complete, Cubs 6, Padres nothing. on an error. Rizzo singled to left field. Then Navarro dumped a single into left center for the first Cubs run. And then Nate Sherholtz clubbed a 3-run home run into the Petco Park. Then an infield hit by Lake. Murphy hit by a pitch, and Bogusevic a 2-run triple. And without any outs, the Cubs led 6-0. And with 2 away and the bases loaded, Volquez was lifted for Tim Stauffer. Meanwhile, the Padres have 1 hit, and that runner erased on a double play ball. So Jackson has gone through the first 3 innings pitching to the limit of 9. Stauffer to Navarro, Sherholtz, and Lake here in the 4th inning.
It's unbelievable, these Cubs hitters now. Navarro, 3rd time up, 4th inning. Let's get some ABs quickly.
It was a long first inning.
Over the mound, tough play. Jerko gets him. Navarro may be the slowest runner in the league. A good thing.
This is plenty of time for Jerko and the short hop. Didn't notice the short hop initially, so a nice pick by Yonder Alonso at first base.
That's a nice compliment. Alonso's making that play look so easy that you don't even notice that he's picking those out of the dirt. He's really improved defensively.
He really has. He works at it. He gets to the park early. I like to get here early and watch batting practice and watch guys do their little things. And he takes a lot of ground balls over there. He really takes pride in trying to get his footwork together. But there have been some times that last series, 2 series ago against the Mets,
couldn't find the bag.
He couldn't find the bag, and he just kind of took his feet off the bag.
And you know what? He was embarrassed.
He was. He really felt bad.
Accountable for it.
And he does. He wants to be accountable over there. So he's trying to pick up his teammates out there at first.
There's Tony. I know we've played with a lot of players throughout your career, but there are guys that make the mistakes and it eats at them.
Yeah.
And then there are the few guys that they make a mistake and they kind of whatever. Those are the guys that, come on, dude, you got to care. And Alonso cares, and it shows when any of these guys make a miscue.
Well, Wally Joyner was like that.
Yes.
He was a lot like Alonso, first baseman. We knew he had a great glove, and anytime somebody made a bad throw, he felt like it was his responsibility to pick him up. You talk about somebody good with the glove. I'm sorry, Dick.
That's right.
Somebody good with the glove. Wally Joyner over there at first base. Man, that was something to watch.
2-2 now to Sherholtz. 1 out in the 4th. Junior Lake on deck. The Cubs struck early. 6-run first inning. It took 31 minutes to play the first inning, the Cubs half of the first inning. Struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Stauffer. And speaking of strikeouts, our Saquon Casino Daycation stat of the game. The Cubs in August have struck out more than any other team. More than the Pirates, more than the Mets. Three tonight off Stauffer. And with 2 outs, Junior Lake, a single and scored in the first. Grounded to short the last time up. Good breaking ball, but not quite in the zone. Pinches the outside corner.
Good 2-seamer from Tim Stauffer. Not afraid to bury it on the inside part of the plate. You got to trust your stuff. You got to bury it in there.
About location. See where Hundley wanted it. See where it ended up.
Strike 3 call. Couple of strikeouts Christopher in a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Will Venable, Cub club leader with 17 home runs, will lead off the bottom of the fourth.
Alonso bat this inning. Yonder, of course, the provider of all the offense the Padres needed on Wednesday against the Pirates, and he said that hitting with runners in scoring position is something he really relishes. He says as opposed to what he does when he doesn't have somebody on in front of him, when he has runners in scoring position, he really focuses in on just working on getting a good pitch to hit, really trying to get back to the basics, the fundamentals of an at-bat. And when he actually doesn't have somebody on in front of him, he's more focused on working the pitcher and working the count. Tony, I'm interested on your take on this. Was that kind of how you approached hitting with runners in scoring position, an intensified focus?
Yeah.
Ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Will Venable, leading off the fourth inning.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do, because more times than not, and as we hopefully as the Padres put some guys on base, you'll see with runners in a scoring position, a lot of times they don't want to come in with the fastball. They want you to hit something, anything other than that. And it takes patience, it takes concentration, it takes trust in your stroke that is going to allow you to be successful in those situations. And so Yonder's learning that. He's starting to figure it out. And the more times he's put in that situation, the more times he's going to be successful, because he really wants to be as good at it as he possibly can.
Well, the Padres got the leadoff man on in the second inning when Jerko singled, but then Headley hit into the double play. Now Venable leads it off in the fourth with a single. Chris Denorfia grounded to short his first at bat, trying to extend that hitting streak. 8 in a row. Good check swing. And 2-0 the count. Jackson has not walked anyone. He struck out 2.
I would think even though the Padres are down 6-0 here, Venable still probably got the green light.
14 steals for Venable.
Well, you might be thinking right along there with you. And what that does, you steal the base, you get the scoring position, obviously, but it takes away the short out. So a little dribbler with a ball up the middle. They can't go the short way. Will Venable go to third base? So many things can happen there. And once again, still chipping away here in the fourth, trying to chip away at least to get in the slam range.
Yeah, the fact that Denorfia can handle the bat a little bit too.
Yeah, that hole on that right side. There are holes, and then there's the Grand Canyon. I mean, it's unbelievable, the right side, as you take a look at the percentage of Will Venable.
80 feet there to shoot at.
Look at that right there.
Pops him up, shallow and right. Sherholtz coasts in under it for the first down. Venable back to first, and Yonder Alonso steps up. Yonder grounded right to Rizzo at the bag his first time up. He seems to like hitting third. This is his 13th game hitting in the third spot in the batting order. Batting .341. And against Chicago in 18 games in his career, over 300.
You guys hear the song walk-up music for Yonder? I couldn't tell you what it was. Did you have walk-up music, Pete?
No.
Hey, Dick, what was your walk-up music, Pete? Glenn Miller?
I'll get
Bobby
back
Darin?
to you. I'll get back to you on that. Ground ball left side, and it's gloved by Castro, but no play, an infield hit for Alonso. Nice play by the shortstop Castro, but by the time he smothered it, too late for a forced and too late to get Alonso.
Tony, this is what we're talking about. Multiple base runners beating the shift there as Castro makes a nice play.
It's not a fastball. Off speed, he still stayed on it, hit it sharply. Castro made a nice play, not letting that ball get in the left field.
So the table set, one swing, and the Padres can cut that 6-0 lead in half. Jerko singled his first time. Yeah, so one big swing could lay a little seriousness on the Cubs lead.
I don't think I was talking about Yonder Alonso. When you get to these situations where they're ducks on the pond, guys are in scoring position, watch how few fastballs hitters get, especially young hitters.
Yeah, and that one we just saw.
We just saw first pitch, breaking ball, down in the dirt, trying to get a ground ball. Oh. And then he comes back with a fastball that's not a strike. It's out of the zone. It's elevated.
Getting a little froggy there, huh?
And that's with young hitters. That's what young hitters do. Make these same mistakes, trying to be too aggressive, trying to make things happen. And it just takes experience. It takes many times going up there to the plate, being put in these kind of situations.
That ball hit well to left center field. How well is it? Back goes Lake, and Jerko will catch them all. How about that? One swing, 3 runs, and the Padres are back in the game 6-3 on Jerko's 15th home run of the year.
Professor, you were all over it. You called it.
I said it wasn't going to be a fastball, and it wasn't. It was a hanging breaking ball right in the middle of the plate.
You know what they say, you hangy, he will bangy.
And he did.
Oh, believe it.
And just like that, Padres are back in this ball game.
15 home runs now and 40 runs batted in for Jerko, a man who missed more than a full month of play.
Beautiful.
Jerko has set the Padre record for a rookie second baseman in home runs and extend that with each additional. Josh Barfield had hit a dozen. Yeah, he made it interesting. Now here's Headley, grounded into a double play first time. And the count 2-1. The home run by Jerko also places him on a National League rookie list for home runs this year. And here it is. Jerko and Evan Gattis of Atlanta with 15 to lead all rookies, with Puig, Franklin, and Gillespie. That's in the major league. So
I'll tell you what, Jerko doesn't get a whole lot of love either from rookie of the year.
That's right.
You know, you're hearing Puig and
fair ball, nice glove by Rizzo. Can't get the ball out from beneath his body, and Headley has an infield hit.
Rizzo did a nice job of smothering that ball down the line, but just wasn't in position to make a throw to Jackson covering. time he finally got in position to make a throw, Headley was across the bag, but see him save extra bases. And by the time he could throw it, Headley's already beaten it out.
Did he lose the handle on that, Tony? Did the ball come out of his glove there, Rizzo?
I think it's just in trying to get the ball out of his glove and rolling.
Yeah, just trying to knock the ball down and then make a play at first.
May have saved the Cubs a base on that play. That could have been down in the corner for a double. So here's Amarista. 4 hits for the Padres here in the 4th inning. Ball 1.
Right over the bag.
Oh, it did come out.
Couldn't find the handle. Follow it around, see what it eats.
Line drive right to the third baseman. It's ruled a catch and a double play as Amarista hits it hard. Bad luck into a 5-3 line drive double play, but it's 6-3 now.
Sports Live as Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole are joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson to bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 is available on all TV providers. Go to foxsports1.com to find out what channel you get Fox Sports 1 on in your area. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, Tim Stauffer and relieving Edinson Volquez, moving toward his longest outing as a reliever. And he's not allowed a hit. He's hit a man and walked a man, but nothing else. And 3 1/3 solid innings of relief. Shortstop Forsythe takes care of Donnie Murphy. 1 away.
How Stauffer just keep throwing those zeros up there.
Suddenly, just in terms of the mental framework, it's a 3-0 game.
Yep. Play it out by out, right? Tim Stauffer just continue to get an out, throw up a 0. Hey, this might be one of those games where Tim Stauffer goes a few innings and ends up looking at the paper tomorrow, possibly getting a W.
Bogusevic has tripled in a run and lined to second. 2-run tripled in the first inning. All the action for the Cubs in the first inning off starter Volquez. Their 6 runs and 5 hits, all in the first frame. And then Stauffer came in to slam the door. Two and 0. Saddened to hear the news today that one of the outstanding tennis players from this area has passed, Bill Bond. Many of you out there may have taken a lesson from Bill Bond at the La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club. He was an outstanding junior, won 11 national titles.
Wow.
He was the NCAA doubles champion with Dennis Ralston at USC in 1964, and 34 years a pro at the Long Beach, or the La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club.
Well, I'm sure he'll be missed.
Bond was just 71. 2-2 now to Bogusevic.
Oh.
There's a mean foul tip. Sounded like the padding got it.
Tell you what, I got chills just hearing that. I remember one time, believe it or not, I made contact on a foul ball and got it right at the top of the left foot.
Oh, and got him, yeah.
Got him in the back foot.
Yeah,
too.
the back leg area, yeah.
Lined to Headley. 2 away. Bogusevic has hit the ball on the nose 3 straight times. 2 lineouts and a triple.
You know what that is, Dick?
Hang.
It's a big league.
Hang
with him.
Yeah.
Just because you hit it hard on the screws doesn't mean it's going to be a hit, right, Tony Gwynn?
That is correct.
See, the trouble was that if he hadn't gone into the toolbox and got that hammer
right
after the foul tip off, then it would have worked out different.
So the worst, right? He got the foul tip, and then he hits the ball hard for an out. Not a good combo.
Barney has walked and grounded to short. One and one. So Tijuana beat Panama 4-2 today. So in that double elimination bracket, they will play Japan tomorrow for the Little League International place in the World Series final. Ground ball, that's by Headley into left field. Barney with a 2-out single. The first hit allowed by Tim Stauffer. That'll bring up Edwin Jackson, the pitcher. And on the U.S. side, Connecticut 14, Washington 13. And Connecticut tomorrow will play San Diego's own Chula Vista's team for the spot in the World Series, Little League World Series final.
Now, for both of those teams, Dick, the West team, the Chula Vista team, and the Tijuana team, they're undefeated, right?
I believe so.
And the other teams have one loss.
Tijuana lost one.
Okay,
right.
Tijuana lost one. Okay,
so they came through the consolation phase.
Okay. And Japan is the team that's undefeated, is that right? Okay,
yes.
so do they have to beat them twice?
Yeah, no, tomorrow it counts one game.
Oh, okay.
But the disadvantage, if you've lost one, is now they've had to play today, use their pitchers, and now the other two teams, Japan and Chula Vista, have everyone ready. Not only for tomorrow, but for the championship game Sunday.
You know, you think about that. Even though it's double elimination at this point, you go through that tournament and you're one of the top 4 teams. Come on, that's something to be said.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's remarkable.
You have to win at least 5 to win the Little League World Series when you're at one sport. But how many did you win before that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Chula Vista is something like 13, 14 games in a row.
If you have 2 good pitchers in Little League, 2 good pitchers, 2 studs, could take you a long way.
Some of those kids, too, they can't believe they're 13. Breaking ball in there.
I saw one kid drive up in a Range Rover up to the ballpark.
I would say Little League now you need probably 3 or 4, because I know they have pitch limits
that's
now.
right, the pitch limit. That's right.
You can only throw, I think you can only throw 70 pitches, 75 pitches.
Popped up off first, over to take a look is Alonso, but that's out of his reach off the roof of the dugout.
In fact, we just received word from Stephen Rose, our illustrious producer in the truck. Grant Holman is eligible to pitch tomorrow for Chula Vista.
But see, it's kind of a delicate area. Do you want to start someone else and then save him for the Sunday final? I mean, that's. But the beauty is that's the strength of that Chula Vista team. They have, as they showed at the last win, that bullpen going 9 innings was really outstanding. 2-2 to Jackson. Ground ball, Forsythe. They'll go the long way for the out. And we're at the halfway mark in this one with a cut waiting 6-3. Fox Sports San Diego, brought to you by Saquon, real friendly, real close. And by the Aramco Group, purchase, refinance, reverse. And for an update on Carlos Quentin, let's go down to Laura McKeeman.
Well, Dick, the Padres have certainly missed Quentin's bat in the lineup, and he was supposed to run today, but they've actually changed that to tomorrow, that he will run and really try to test that knee. He continues to hit in the cages and continues to get that treatment, but Bud Black said today that surgery could be a possibility because some doctors have figured out a procedure that might make progress easier for Carlos as he goes along. Now, Bud said that would certainly be a worst-case scenario resort, and at this point, they don't know as much until he runs tomorrow. After that, they'll reevaluate the situation again, and if they think he can play, if they think he can run, he'll certainly try to avoid surgery. Of course, that surgery would happen over the winter.
Well, we'll wish the best for the big man. His presence in the middle of the Padre lineup is so valuable. Ask Chase Headley, who hit in front of Quentin last year. Forsythe line to center field his first time. Hundley and the pitcher spot to follow. (6-3) Chicago. In there for a strike. 51 pitches for Jackson through 4 innings. The Cubs bullpen has not been good of late, so to try to get into that pen would be an immediate goal of the Padres. The last 17 2/3 innings, the relief corps for the Cubs they've given up 11 runs.
That's exactly what the Padre offensive guys are thinking.
Way outside, 2-1.
Let's put some stuff together here and hopefully get into that bullpen.
Chad Sherko, a single and a 3-run homer to lead the Padres tonight.
Yeah, guys, that Cubs bullpen is ranked last in the National League with a 4.26 ERA.
On the corner. 2-2 to Logan Forsythe.
Nice to get base runners, flip that lineup over, huh? Get Venable in the top of the order and try to add on here. The 3-run deficit.
Again, you're down 6-0 in the first. You're only in the bottom of the 5th inning, so you got time. A single run here would be great.
Can I order up a double? Yo, bartender, how about a double? Leadoff double would be nice.
3-2. Rene Rivera there with Chad Sherko. Ground ball sharply, but right to the third baseman. And Murphy throws off bag and pulls Rizzo wide. Safe on the air is Logan Forsythe.
That's how the Cubs got started in the first inning. Exact same play. Ground ball hit sharply to Murphy. He's got time to make a strong throw. Shuffles his feet a couple of times. Throws the ball high. Forsythe able to get through the bag before Rizzo can come down.
That's what 90 feet will give you, right, guys?
There you go.
Hustling out of the box no matter what. That's a good lesson to learn right there from Logan Forsythe.
Now let's see if that opens the gates for the Padres as it did for the Cubs for 6 runs in the first inning. Hundley has lined out to right his first time. And he goes to the right field. That's going to be a base hit. Forsythe to second. Padres have the first 2 men on here in the 5th inning. That brings the tying run to the plate.
Make that error hurt.
And watch Nick Hundley here going the other way. Inside pitch, fighting it off. That swing tells you he's trying to go the other way, and he does a great job.
Marcotte is the pinch hitter for Stauffer. Now, this is one of the many moves that a manager has to strategically decide. You keep the pitcher in, bunt the two guys over, or do you try to get a big inning and lift the pitcher and get a batter up there?
He might have Kotsay button here.
Strike one. Well, good job by Tim Stauffer. 4 1/3 innings of shutout pitching.
He was outstanding. You talk about picking up your whole ball club, throwing up zeros. He did just that.
One and one. Dale Thayer apparently will be on the mound for the Padres in the 6th inning. Kotsay is 3 for 11 lifetime against Jackson. 1-2. It's the 50th at bat as a pinch hitter for Kotsay this year. 8 hits, 1 of them a home run. Weak tap toward third. And the put out at first as Murphy able to make the throw over to Rizzo, and the runners move up. So base hit can produce 2 more and cut the lead to 1. Forsythe to third, Hundley to second. This is these Edwin Jackson season statistics.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, Dick. The second, third, fourth time around, the more the opposing hitters see him, the averages, except for the second time, third and fourth time going way up. Third time around, 313 clip. And 429, Dick, the fourth time around, if he stays in that long.
And fatigue starting to factor in that statistic late innings. Here's Venable, singled the last time, and he hits this ball deep to right center field. That's way out there, and it is off the fence. That'll score 2. Venable on his way to third with a stand-up triple. It's 6-5. Will Venable continues his red-hot hitting in the month of August.
Well, we talked about it. Bases, guys on base, not getting many fastballs. That's a hanging breaking ball. And Will Venable drives it to the base of the wall in right center field. Just missed hitting a 3-run homer and tying this game. But again, we're only in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
You put 3 runs on the board, 2 runs on the board. You're right back in it.
Denorfia with the infield in. Waves had that first breaking pitch.
And how ironic. It all started with that error off the bat of Logan Forsythe. Padres taking advantage of it and flipping the order over. Remember, the bottom of the order.
Good thing Logan Forsythe hustled down the line.
Exactly.
Murphy at third, Castro at short, Barney at second, Rizzo at first, in on the edge of the grass. Ooh. 2 strikes now on Denorfia.
He had a hanger on that one.
Yeah, man on third, less than 2 outs. He's not just coming in there with a fastball.
Looks like Buddy looking at the body language there. You see him put up the 2 hands, kind of like stop sign, and wipe his. I'm guessing maybe a contact, wiping that off
well, he might,
on a grounder, or it could be a decoy.
I would think he's going to make it go through. He's going to make the ball go through the infield.
Absolutely.
To score that run, you don't want to get that guy thrown out at the plate. Maybe early on the infield was back playing halfway. Now they're right up on the grass.
Wow. Just off the outside corner. Infield tied, hitter's delight for Denorfia to try to tie it up.
Jackson tried to paint the outside corner right there. 0-2.
Chris is grounded out and flied out. That was a pretty good pitch. Chop to first. Rizzo looks the runner back and gets the put out unassisted. Well, the Padres can't tie it on an out. It's up to Yonder Alonso.
You could take a shot trying to score there, but you're gonna, it doesn't take the perfect throw or crazy throw to get you out right there. 1 out. You're only down a run now. I think you hold like Will did, and you give Alonso here a chance to drive you in.
We talked about Alonso hitting with runners in scoring position a lot this game.
Singled the last time up and scored on the 3-run homer by Jerko. Jerko on deck. Ball 1.
Jackson got hurt with that breaking ball a couple of times tonight. Hung one to Jerko for the 3-run homer. Hung one to Venable for the 2-run triple.
As the Padres recovering from a 6-0 early deficit. 6 runs for the Cubs in the first inning. Check swing. 2-0. 333 average this year with runners in scoring position for Yonder Alonso. Over but low, 3-0.
Right.
Yep.
Sometimes these are the hard at bats for a hitter. You want to be the guy to drive him in, but if he's just not going to give you nothing to hit, you got to let the guy behind you have a shot at it.
Oh, green lighted and popped it up. Shallow and left. Bogusevic in. And that'll be it for the Padres in the 5th inning. But they get 2 more with Will Venable flirting with a home run, driving in a pair with that triple. It's 6-5 Chicago. University, the Spider, Tim Stauffer, allowed only 1 hit and 4 1/3 innings of solid relief. Struck out 4, walked 1, hit 1, and kept the Padres in the game. He entered the game with the Cubs in front 6-0, and he leaves the game with a 6-5 score. There are his numbers. Dale Thayer in relief. .222, the opponent's hitting off this right-hander, making his 59th appearance of the season.
I'll tell you what, you just couldn't ask more from Stauffer. He just came in and gave you 4 1/3 solid relief, gave your offense a chance to get you back in the game, and now the pendulum kind of swung to the Padres' favor here.
Castro lines one, rolled by the glove of Alonso into right field for a base hit. Well, things have not always been great for Castro of late, including in the past weekend when against the Cardinals with a man at third, fly ball. Castro casually makes the catch, starts walking over. Oh, what's out? Here comes the runner. And Castro earned a seat on the bench when he came back to the dugout. You'd never give up on that runner at third. And Dale Swaim not at all happy with that play.
You want your shortstop to be one of your leaders out there. You got to know the situation, how many outs there are. And I give him credit. He accepted responsibility after the game. He said it was completely his fault and that it wouldn't happen again.
Anthony Rizzo now as Castro leads off the 6th inning with a base hit. Rizzo a single scored. He's walked and struck out tonight. One and one. Cubs got 6 off Volquez, who could not survive the 1st inning. Big blows, a 3-run homer of Shearholtz and a 2-run triple by Brian Bogusevic. Out of play. It's interesting. The Padres have a 3-run homer as well from Jerko and a 2-run triple from Venable. The difference, Navarro singled in a run as well in that 1st inning. Up on the handle with 2 strikes on it. And he takes strike 3. 1 away.
Toussaint started in off the plate and bring it back. See that ball straighten out right at the end.
Yeah, one good. Take it off. Goes.
Navarro dropped a single into left center field for an RBI in the 1st. He's grounded out to short and to second since. I can see him hit a ground ball at an infielder. He's a perfect double play candidate. Castro in the past has been a threat as a base stealer, but he has only 8 this year. All his numbers are down. He had 22 steals 2 years ago, 25 thefts last year, Castro.
I think this is such a huge inning, guys. Keep the Cubs off the board because Padres have scored 2 straight innings, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Get right back in there.
Ooh, that's drilled into the right field corner, but hooking, foul.
Strike 2. Out in front of it just a little bit, huh? Hooking it. There's a happy Padre fan.
That youngster's got some autographs on his jersey. Now he's got a souvenir baseball as well.
That's awesome.
He's dressed for the part, isn't he? It's a tough play for Headley, even though the man can't run well, Navarro, and he beats it out. You couldn't have rolled it out there any better, and it's an infield hit for Navarro.
There's that old saying in the big leagues, hitters can smell them. He knew he had a shot to beating this ball out. Navarro, that might have been his best home to first dash in a couple of years.
He didn't run like that the other 2 ground balls.
He sure didn't. He could smell that base hit.
Oh, he is huffing and puffing. You know, Headley makes a good play out of this. And he just barely beats it.
Headley had to not only charge the ball, but he had to come over toward the line for it because he was playing into the hole. So 2 on 1 out to Nate Sherholtz, who has struck out twice since he hit the 3-run home run in the first inning into the Petco porch. 19 homers for Sherholtz this year. That's by far and away his career high. The most he ever hit with the Giants was 9. And he drills that one to deep right. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Oh, my.
Strike 2.
Is there an echo in here, Tony?
Hey, it's a foul ball. It's a strike, huh? And he's happy. Well, he hit that ball well, though, obviously. Yep.
Definitely foul.
Disappearing behind that big yellow foul pole out there and right.
Behind that giant yellow golf club.
Yeah.
Took a little off. That changeup at 85. 1-2 to Sherholtz.
Remember that 2-seamer into Rizzo, remember? Dale Thayer, not afraid to throw that pitch.
No, Sherholtz is pretty quick inside. You know, he's been trying to get him to chase something out over the plate.
Grounds that to Alonso. He'll go there for 1, and that's all they'll get. Sherholtz safe on the fielder's choice as Castro moves to third.
Tried to backdoor a slider there to Nate Sherholtz. A great location from Dale Thayer. He kind of hooks that ball, Tony, as you said. Likes to pull the baseball. Feeding right into the hand of Dale Thayer to induce that grounder on the back door.
Kind of a dangerous throw there.
I was just going to say, throw it the backside.
Alonso. You could just go ahead and take the out at first. But he wants to get that guy at second to keep the force in order here.
So 2 outs, first and third to Junior Lake, who is a single in 3 at bats. Takes the breaking ball a little low. Lake with an infield hit to deep short in the first inning and scored. Grounded to short and struck out since. Geared for the fastball, didn't get it. Slider.
Same arm action as the fastball, but he puts a little wrinkle in it. Opening up that front side, Tony.
Well, again, most young hitters just go up to the plate in these kind of situations, and they're looking for the fastball.
I mean, because let's face it, you make it to the big leagues because you can hit the fastball, right?
Exactly. But sometimes, like this situation here, throws in the breaking ball, he swings through it, he throws in the fastball, he fouls it off. He's in protection mode now. He's trying to protect the plate.
Yep.
And so you could go fastball up in the zone, you could go slider away out of the zone, you could throw him a slider in the zone. You give the pitcher a whole lot of options here on how to attack a young hitter.
A good breaking ball should put him away right here for Dale Thayer. Down and away.
2 outs with Castro at third. Sherholtz at first. 6-5 Cubs. And Thayer in front on the count. 1-2 to the 23-year-old Junior Lake, who has 44 hits since the All-Star break. That's the most of any major league rookie. Good looking young player. And to the slider.
And he missed. He wanted that one down and away. That one was down and in. Could have been dangerous.
Came right over the top of it and fouled it off his foot. And again, these at-bats here were guys in scoring position. The most important thing really is location. You got to put it where the catcher wants it. If you make a mistake because guys are in 2-strike mode, they're trying to shorten up, usually they'll make you pay.
Yes, missed him.
When I see a hitter do this type of dance. He's looking outer half of the plate. He's kind of diving, don't you think, Tony?
He's looking for a fastball out over the plate. Looking for something out over the plate.
Lake positions himself in the batter's box. He crowds the plate.
Spread out a little bit, middle of the box.
That was closer. 2-2 the count. First and third, 2 outs here in the 6th. Dale Thayer trying to check the Cubs, hold them at that 6-5 lead. Goes the runner to second. They got him. Now you got to watch the runner at third. If he makes the break, he's out. No run. Quick work by the Padres. As the move to third works, it draws Sherholtz into a rundown and the final out. 1, 5, 4, 3.
Insider debuts next Wednesday, August 28th. And this will be your show to find out everything Chargers related. I sit down with Coach McCoy each week, and we'll have all kinds of insider information for you. We'll also hear from players. We'll have a Meet the Chargers segment. And I just started filming this yesterday. We sat down with Phillip Rivers and GM Tom Telesco. Lots of great information coming your way for all the Chargers fans out there. Dick?
All right, Laura, look forward to that. That'll be a great season for you. Jed Jerko leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. Jerko last time up hit his 15th home run of the year, 7 of them in August. That's a Padre record for a rookie, hitting 7 home runs in a single month. No one's ever done that before. 1-1 to Jerko, who also has a single tonight. And with his 3-run home run, has hit the 40 RBI line. One and two. In the 4th inning with 2 mates aboard, Jerko got a hanging curveball and drove it into the left center field area, just in front of the bleachers. That made the score from 6-0 to 6-3. And then Venables' 2-run triple in the 5th inning pulled San Diego within 1. That's where we stand here, opening the bottom of the 6th inning.
That 3-1 homer, he knew it too when he hit it.
Remember, fans, after the injury, the groin injury, Jerko, when he came back just before the All-Star break, July was just a lost month for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing right happened. I mean, he hit around 100. Then August comes and he's been a terror. Strike 3, he knew it. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Only the 3rd strikeout for Edwin Jackson.
Well, he went with the breaking ball. Oh, nice frame job right there by Navarro.
Again, this is a game you get into rhythm, especially on the offensive end. And for a guy like Jerko to miss all that time and then come back, it takes a little while.
That ball hit the left field fairly deep. Bogancevic going back, and it's off the wall. Headley into second base with a double. Boy, that ball carried. Now that's the kind of swing that created havoc for the opposition last year, the second half of the season, when Headley was spraying deep drives all parts of the yard.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see him use the whole field. Fastball, down and in, takes his hands to the inside, drives this ball to left field. Bogancevic is there to make the play, just unable to come up with it.
Yeah, I don't think he realized that ball was hit as hard as it was off the left-handed bat. That ball carried very well. It looked like the ball just went right by his glove.
Yeah, normally in this ballpark, left-handers' balls don't carry that well to the sign out there where they put the pitch speed. Usually, as it goes into the corner, it'll carry a little bit better. But
that places the tying run at second base with 1 out here in the 6th. Amarista is flied out and lined out into a double play. They play him way around toward left field.
Look out.
Headley gets back. Right center field wide open for Amarista. Center fielder Lake moving even farther into left center. Shortstop Castro playing almost behind Headley. And after the ball in the dirt. Slider.
I always wondered for young hitters in this situation. As you see the gap in right center field, as a young hitter, you see that.
Yeah.
You see that, and you say, okay, you're gonna play me that way. I'm gonna take a pitch. I'm gonna drive it in the right center field. And again, he gets sped up. Jackson throws him a breaking ball.
And another bouncer, and he didn't bite this time. 2-2 the count. 82 pitches for Jackson. 1 out in the 6th. The Padres trying to create one of their best rallies of the entire season, down 6-0 after the first inning. They've cut it to 6-5.
Hey, the unicorn believes.
Horny character, huh?
Work that magic.
Fly ball, Castro for the second out. The Padres' largest deficit that they've overcome this year, 5 runs. So if they should win tonight, it would be their biggest comeback of the year. Logan Forsythe, line to center, safe on third baseman Murphy's throwing error, and that set up the 2-run triple for Venable in the 5th inning.
This one's going to boil down to the Padre bullpen throwing up zeros, just like Tim Stauffer did.
Yep.
And we've seen it before. We've seen that Padre bullpen throw up many zeros in a row.
See, I'd like to see him throw zeros up with a tie score instead of being down by 1.
Over but low to Forsythe. Jackson still has good velocity, 93 on the fastball. Again, he has never beaten the Padres. 0-4. 5.68 ERA. He's given up 4 earned runs tonight, 4 of the 5 earned. Hit to right center field. Hit well. Long run for the right fielder. Sherholz. He can't get it. That'll tie it as Headley scores. And there goes Forsythe racing to third base with a triple. It's tied at 6.
I know I like seeing this. Slider out over the plate. Doesn't try to pull it. Goes with it. Goes with it to the biggest part of the yard.
And Tony, you know what? For a second, for a millisecond, I thought the ball was going to hang up there enough for Sherholz to make that grab. Thank goodness it's out of the reach of his glove. Oh, it is off his glove, actually.
And for Forsythe, his first triple of the season, as he registers RBI number 15 to tie the game. So the Padres have come all the way back from that 6-0 deficit in the first inning, and Hundley a chance to give them the lead. Lines it to right, slicing foul.
He did it again. I give Nick credit. He did the exact same thing again. He took a shot, trying to hit a ball to right field.
He's lined to right. He's singled to right. Well, they've overcome 5 runs down against the Giants way back in the first month of the season, but a better job for Bud Black's team tonight. They've always shown the fight. They punched their way off the ropes and made this a new ball game here in the 6th inning. Forsythe at third, 90 feet away from giving the Padres the lead. He went around, Eric Cooper says.
Well, up here it looked like he went.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Jeff Decker is in the on-deck circle, pitcher spot. Dale Thayer next. Slice down the right field side again with a lot of depth. That'll be back into the crowd. And in that little pocket of fans right off the foul pole. If the Padres should win tonight, this is the 224th game between the Cubs and the Padres. The record would be 112-112.
Wow.
I thought it'd be closer. 0-2 to Nick Hundley. And he fouls it away.
Oh, way to hang on the breaking ball there.
Well, it's been a night with the extra base hits for the Padres. They have a total of 9 hits. They've got a couple of triples, a double, a 3-run homer. Shortco producing the 3-run homer.
I saw this guy sitting on the bench. There was never a doubt they were going to get back in this game, down 6-0. Look at him, legs crossed, looking comfortable, confident.
Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. Navarro will have to make the play at first base for the final out. But a double by Headley, RBI triple from Logan Forsythe, and we have a new game tied at 6.
Cubs, Mark Sweeney, Mike Pomeranz working on the postgame show for you. Edinson Volquez running into trouble early, but Tim Stauffer, what a job picking him up.
Yeah, Mike, you got to put up 0.
Against Vincent. Junior Lake leads it off. Takes ball 1. Lake, Murphy, and then Bogusevic here in the 7th inning. So Dale Thayer goes an inning. No runs, 2 hits. Struck out 1. Stauffer 4 1/3. No runs, just 1 hit. In relief of Edinson Volquez, who left the game in the 1st inning with the Cubs in front 6-0.
Tell you what, I've said this once before, I'll say it again. Baseball, the game of baseball, the best reality show on TV. Isn't it? Come on, think about it. That's why you should never leave.
Exactly. No one covering first. Lake is safe. Alonso had to leave the bag, leave his position to go for the ball. Vincent was able to get there. That's just the perfect bunt single for Junior Lake.
Great idea for Junior Lake too, huh, Tony?
Yeah. You know, Alonso, he just had to see that you have to give as a first baseman, you got to give your pitcher a chance to field this ball. And instead, he committed to going to get the ball. And there's nobody at first base. I don't think Lake even had to slide head first at first base there, but didn't want to take any chances. Allow Vincent to tag him.
So the total's now identical. 6 runs, 9 hits, an error for both sides. Brings up Donnie Murphy. Murphy's been hit by a pitch twice, scored a run, and he's grounded to short. That's the 4th bunt hit for Junior Lake since he came up to the big club at midseason.
He was showing bunt earlier tonight. I just didn't buy it. I wasn't thinking he was going to lay one down.
High fly ball, and Marista into right center. Tagging, and here's the throw to second base, and he is safe. Oh my, that was close. A daring move by Lake to tag on a ball in right center field. Amarista with a good throw.
Now they're going to appeal that he left too soon at first base.
Now he's safe.
Yes.
Well, they got to do it the right way. He didn't go on the rubber and step off. Forsythe just couldn't get the tag on him. Ball beats him there, but he just never could get his hand on that, get his glove on his foot.
Good hustle by Junior Lake. That'll bring up Ryan Bogusevic, who has an RBI, two-run triple, and he's lined out twice. So he's been hitting the ball on the screws all night long. Lake at second, 1 out. 6-6 tie here in the 7th. Game 2 tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Our start time here on Fox Sports San Diego. Eric Stoltz will go for his 9th win against Jeff Samardzija, the hard-throwing right-hander, who's 7-11. Pulled foul. And then Sunday, Military Sunday, 12:30 our TV time, with Kashner going against left-hander Chris Russin. He's 2-3. Military Sunday. Don't forget, tomorrow night, first 25,000 of you at Padre baseball cap is a good one with the embroidered Padres on the front.
Beautiful.
In fact, I wouldn't mind getting a couple of extra of those.
Oh,
nice
I know some people that can get you one, Dick.
All right. Counting on you. 2 strikes the count. Got him swinging. Foul tip. 2 away. One after a pitch out of the zone.
Vincent going up the ladder with the fastball.
So 2 outs to Darwin Barney. So you got one of those ball caps, do you, there, Mark Grant?
I do, and if you play your cards right, Mr. Enberg, I think I can maybe get you 2 of them.
All right. You see, isn't that nice? See, that's all. Yeah.
Show them.
Embroidered there.
Yeah.
And then look on the back. Got a little the Friar, the Padre logo.
Courtesy of our friends at State Farm.
Yeah, that's
good
a
quality item.
nice giveaway. Yes.
I'll even autograph it for you, Dick.
You got to make sure our average statistician gets
believe me,
one.
he's already got 5 in his bag. I saw him. He's wearing a visor from back in 1986.
I know, he's a visor guy.
Barney, 1 strike. He can be a troublesome hitter. He's got a single and a walk tonight, 1 for 2. His average way down this year at .215 at the start. Helped lead the Oregon State Beavers to a couple of NCAA titles. Two and 1. Junior Lake, a bunt single and a daring tag on a fly ball to right center to advance and his scoring position. First base open, pitcher spot due next. Logan Watkins is in the on deck circle for the Cubs. And 3 and 1. Barney's always been a man who takes a lot of pitches. He knows the strike zone. Watkins, a left-handed hitter, is only 3 for 19 on deck. 3-1 pitch. High strike.
You know, Nick Vincent throws the tree slider and a cutter. Here's that cutter. See how that ball just moves a little bit. Doesn't take a lot. Just a little bit. And according to Pitch Tracks, Fox Tracks, Southland Technology has got a big smile on their face.
Lifted. It might be a play here for Alonso into foul territory. Yes, there is room. And we go to the stretch half of the 7th inning at Petco Park. A game tied at 6. First inning, 6 runs for the Cubs, 3 of them Nate Scherholtz's 3-run homer into the Petco Parks. But from 6-0, the Padres cut it to 6-3 and a 3-run shot by Jed Jerko, 15th of the year. And the Padres continued the rally. Will Venable, a 2-run triple in the 5th inning that cut the lead to 6-5. And in the 6th inning, Logan Forsythe's first triple of the season tied it up at 6. The Padres 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th to rally and even the count against Edwin Jackson, who stays in as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning.
You know, we mentioned it earlier, guys. It's a good trend here. The Padres 3-2-1, 4, 5, 6 innings. You know, Dale Swaim sticking with Edwin Jackson. He's only thrown 90 pitches, but it goes back to what I said earlier. Remember the bullpen of the Cubs, worst ERA in the National League. He probably feels right now at this point in time he's going to stick with his starter rather than turn the ball over to the bullpen.
Well, that is testimony to the fact that bullpen is weak. But normally in this situation where you've seen a 6-0 lead evaporate and the opposing team score in each of the last 3 innings, you would figure a change would be due, but he stays in. And Ronnie Cedeno pinch hits for Nick Vincent, leading off the bottom of the 7th. Swaim, 49 years of age, Northern California. He was a high school All-America in football as a quarterback. Strike 1 to Cedeno. The attendance announced tonight, 23,561. Two strikes to Cedeno.
Couple of knee-high fastballs.
Yep. It's a good pitch.
Yep.
He was hitting .220 in the American League with 141 at bats. Cedeno with the Padres, he's 7 for 31. .226 average with San Diego.
Well, Jackson threw 117 pitches last time out against the Redbirds of St. Louis. As we see James Russell, the lefty, on the right, and Blake Parker, the righty, on the left.
Boy, that's confusing, isn't it? In the dirt, 2-2. But you helped us to appreciate that.
Sharp as a bowling ball, Dick.
There you go. See what you're missing, Tony? You got to come here more often.
I hear it at home.
Next to Comedy Live, you know, at Comedy Central, this is like number 2. 2-2 to Cedeno. Chop by the mound. Now it's a tough play. Third baseman can't get it there in time. Head first slide for a base hit, Cedeno. Once it got by Jackson, Cedeno could see base hit.
Yeah, you could smell it.
I was just going to say, Tony.
As soon as it got by Jackson right there, you could get a whiff of a base hit. And when you try to get that base hit, you'll dive head first into first base.
You didn't dive into first base.
No, I'd slide every now and then, but hitters still think they get there quicker going head first.
And that base hit may be the straw that will take Jackson out of the game. And that's the case. He gives Swaim the ball. Well, that's tough. You have a 6-0 lead early. You leave with no decision, maybe.
Time now for an update on our AT&T Twitter poll results. We asked you which franchise would end its championship drought first, and the people have tweeted. It looks like they went the NHL direction with the Maple Leafs. Of course, the choices there, the Kings, that was the NBA Kings, and the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, just to clarify. But the Maple Leafs win this one, guys.
You know what? I'm going to balk at that. With my Hawks, ain't going to happen. Sorry, just one man's opinion. Maple Leafs, no chance with the Hawks.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals came close. They got to the Super Bowl. You know, that 100-yard pass interception touchdown by Harrison of the Steelers at the end of the half was a decider. I saw that game in the far reaches, the outback of Australia. We found a little town with one little restaurant and bar, and they got the satellite turned and turned, and Arizona was marching to extend their lead at the end of the half, and then the whole village lost power for about 10 minutes. When they turned it on, it was halftime, and Pittsburgh was ahead. I said, how could that happen? So I guess I really didn't see it. They pick off the runner Cedeno right off the bat. Now that's not the happy note the Padres are looking for. As James Russell comes in, Cedeno goes, and Russell nails him.
You know, that's one of those plays where it's first move.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
He went on the first move.
I know. That's why you see the look Buddy Black just gave him. That was probably going to be hit and run, and you can't get picked off on hit and run.
No. So Venable, who has a big blow in this game. He's 2 for 3, a single and scored in the 4th, and a 2-run triple in the 5th.
I just believe they're going to put some confidence.
That ball is hit deep to right field, and when it comes down, the Padres have the lead. Touch 'em all, Will Venable.
I was just getting ready to say the way Will Venable is swinging a bat, they're going to put their confidence in him to make something happen. I mean, this ball right here was toasted pretty good.
Venable's 18th homer of the year, leading the Padres.
Wow. You know, usually we see Will Venable really turn that ball down and in on contact. That's above the belt.
Yep, that ball's elevated.
That ball's crushed. Don't look now, but Will Venable is a double shy of the cycle.
He's got the single, triple home run, and he's a doubles hitter.
Well, I hope they can bat around a little bit to give him a chance. Otherwise, hey, you scratched back from 6-0. Hey, let's get out of here with a W today and chalk it up and try it again tomorrow.
Denorfia, he and the pitcher spot, no, Amarista. He and Amarista, the only ones not to share in the hits tonight. A total of 11. Another long ball. It's interesting that Venable, since the All-Star game, is hitting over 350. He's hit safely in 18 of the last 19. Clubbed his 7th triple of the season tonight and his 18th home run. It's a career season for Venable.
A good sign for me is he's hanging in there against left-handed pitching. He was struggling with left-handed pitchers in years past, but this year
6 home runs off lefties.
This year he's hanging in there, and
what an adjustment.
I mean, that was a slider. That wasn't a fastball. That was a hanging slider, and he hit it into the permanencies back there in right field.
So only because Russell picked off Cedeno is Jackson not the pitcher of record in a possible loss. Instead, it's no decision for him as he goes 6+ innings, allows 6 runs, 5 of them earned.
Give Jackson a little bit of credit. He didn't walk anybody. He gave up 10 hits, but he made them hit their way on.
Fly ball to center, and Lake is there for the second out. If you're just joining us, the Padres fell behind 6-0. The Cubs scored 6 runs without an out in the first inning off starter Edinson Volquez, who left with 6 runs scored and the bases loaded. And Tim Stauffer then put up those goose eggs from the 2nd through the 5th inning. 4 1/3 superb innings. There's a high fly ball again to center field off the bat of Alonso. And the Padres are out in the 7th, but Will Venable has given them their first lead of the game with a long home run to right. It's 7-6 San Diego. Two-run triple and a long home run tomorrow. 5 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. The matchup, veteran Eric Stoltz for the Padres from Northern Indiana against a man who did his college pitching and football playing in Northern Indiana at Notre Dame, Jeff Samardzija. Stoltz 8-10, Samardzija 7-11. Hope you'll join us tomorrow night here at the Bowl Yard. Camp night here at Petco. If you can't make it, 5 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Luke Gregerson comes in to work the 8th inning, Mark.
Now you get to the 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys of this bullpen. Hey, Nick Vincent did a great job. Dale Thayer, 2 hits, no runs. But really, you got to tip your cap to Tim Stauffer, 4 1/3. Now we got the 1-run lead. Luke Gregerson territory. Nice numbers for Cool Hand. And for the Cubs, they got the pitcher spot, 9-1-2 to up.
Logan Watkins will be the pinch hitter for James Russell. And then Castro and Rizzo to follow. Watkins recalled earlier this month from the Iowa AAA Farm Club of the Cubs. He was the Cubs minor league player of the year last year, hitting .281. 20 doubles, 11 triples, 9 home runs. And he takes strike 1.
You know, I look at this game, fellas. Of course, the 6 runs in the first for the Padres. And then you look at the Padres offensively, right? 1, 2, 3 first. Base hit, 3 hitters in the second. 3 hitters in the third, but they didn't fold, even though the Cubs were still up 6-0. 4th inning, turned it around. Bunch of base runners, big hits. What do you know? Up by a run. Now that's some kind of nice.
And if it holds, it's their biggest comeback of the entire season. 0-2. And he smothers another slider.
I told you early in the game, when you get down early like they did in the first inning, it's just a matter of, you know, somebody starting it off with a good at bat, a base hit, get on the air or whatever, and then you just start putting good at bats together, and that's what they've done. You know, no question. You give credit to Jed Jerko, he hit the 3-run homer, and Will Venable, the 2-run triple, get him back in it.
Another foul, and just to prove your point, Tony, And Mark, about how Venable has improved so dramatically hitting against left-handed pitching now. As of tonight, against left-handed pitching, he's batting .284 this year, only .258 against right-handers. So he has made a giant step forward.
Well, you're going to be an everyday player in the big leagues. That's especially being a left-handed outfielder. You got to show you can hit left-handed pitching. And thus far, at least to this point, he's doing a good job, much better job.
Strike 3 call. Logan Watkins caught looking at that fastball. One away, top of the order, Starlin Castro.
Well, these hitters know you got the slider, you got the changeup, you got the fastball of Luke Gregerson. Watch it out of the hand. Outside corner. Froze him. What he says? Yeah, that's a strike.
Castro safe on an error in the first inning and scored the first of 6 runs in the inning. Flied out, grounded out, and single to right field his last time.
Same pitch.
I thought that was a strike.
I did too.
I thought the other was a ball.
Yeah, I did too, Dick.
Yeah, well, Southland thinks it's a strike.
Yeah, that's a strike.
Ground ball to third, foul.
Inside slider and inside cutter.
The Cubs heading on the road and enjoying much better success playing away from Wrigley. They just finished a 10-game homestand and won only twice in 10 games. Swing to miss 1 and 2.
So he gets 4 strikes just at bat. We already struck him out, right? According to Fox Tracks.
Yeah, but the game goes according to the guy behind the plate. You know that.
There's a chopper to Jerko. Easy chance for him, and there's 2 away. Well, it's time now for our Fan Diego fans of the game here at Petco tonight among the 23,561.
He's here all the time. Love the brown jacket. Love the lid.
Love the jacket.
That's a great looking jacket. Yeah, hey, there's the cake hat back in the.
Remember that day? Good days. That's some of the new stuff they come up with.
It's a sweet fedora right there.
I like the intertwined SD logo, current logo. Rizzo, dangerous hitter, 20 home runs. He has a single and scored, walked, and he has struck out the last 2 times. When he was with the Padres, he had this tendency to try to peek at the catcher. Up there, I think he's learned that's a dangerous thing to do.
I think so.
High fly ball into left center. Amaristo, long run. Can he get there? It's Denorfia who carves in front of Amarista and snares the final out of the 8th inning. Good play by Denorfia. He had to run a long way. where the healthy pets go. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, inviting you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Padres leading the Cubs 7-6. Fine play by Denorfia and Amaristo. They're running in the same line, and at the last minute, Amaristo peeling off as Denorfia outruns that drive off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. Good communication out there. That could have been dangerous. New pitcher for the Cubs. It's Blake Parker to work the 8th inning. There are his numbers.
Yeah, opponents only hit .202, a couple of home runs in 33-plus innings. Nice ERA for the right-hander. Fastball, slider, split. Last 3 appearances, 3+ innings, only 1 hit.
Now the Padres are going to have to produce somewhat of a big inning for Venable to get another chance to bat tonight and go after that elusive hit for the cycle. Padres have never done it. Although Venable now is the 351st time they've been 1 hit shy. Jed Jerko, big blow tonight, a 3-run homer. And he drives that one deep to right field. Is that another one? To the wall, Scherholtz, gone! Oh my! Jerko, 2 homers and a single tonight. He touches them all, and the Padres a big insurance run, 8-6.
Now, folks, just remember, I'm the one who told you this. If guys do that in this ballpark, they can have just a ton of success.
Meaning going to the opposite field.
Don't be afraid to take a ball out of the plate. Look at it. Perfect position, hands behind the baseball, lets the ball travel. Did it look like he overswing on that? No,
not at all.
Did. He just took a nice, solid swing.
He's strong enough, makes good contact, it'll go.
Absolutely.
Headley has a couple of hits tonight, a single and a double, but Jerko, 2 homers and a single, 4 runs batted in. First time as a rookie that he's had 2 home runs in a game. Now 16 on the season.
There's a drive! It might be! It could be! It is! Second home run of the night for the kid from West Virginia, Jed Giorco. Giorco.
Mel Allen, right?
One to right center, one to left center.
That was
beautiful.
Swing.
Yeah.
Nice looking swing.
So he now leads all Major League rookies in home runs with 16. Swing and a miss by Headley, 2-2.
As I was saying earlier tonight, he doesn't get a whole lot of credit for rookie of the year. They don't give him much of a chance,
right?
You know, Yasiel Puig's getting a lot of attention, and the kid in Miami, the pitcher Fernandez, is getting a lot of attention. But he's starting to creep up there. 16 homers.
Well, he loses a whole year as Headley goes down swinging, a whole month with the injury, and then July was a lost month. It took him almost a full month to get back and swing. So he really has been a April, May, June, August hitter, 4-month hitter to accumulate these big numbers. First time this year, all year, that a Padre has 2 homers in a game. You have to go back to last year, September, when Headley hit a pair in a game. Well, Amaristo for 3 did line into a double play back in the 4th inning. Houston Street getting ready.
Well, this game isn't going to sit very well with the Cubs, but as far as Padres are concerned, they've done a nice job in this game. 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th.
Yeah, and the way
picket fence in the 7th and 8th.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
And you know what, Tony? An extra base hit here. You know, the Cubs look flat right now. Still, they got that 1 inning in the top of the 9th. But Jed Jerko, wow, you hit it on the head. Not over swinging one bit.
There you go. That's really the trick to this game on the offensive end, is just trusting your stroke. And he did. You know, he took a shot on the first homer. He hit it to left center field. It was a hanging breaking ball.
Yep.
that's the one you go ahead and take your shot on. Anything up and hanging.
Did you pick Jerko in the pick to stick?
Oh, believe that.
15 points. That may be the high for the entire year.
I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate.
Boy, watch out, Laura. He's coming fast down the stretch.
You should have heard him up here. He didn't know who to choose.
You're right. You said, what did you say? Go with your gut. And that was my gut feeling.
I said, go with your gut.
Thanks, T.
3-1. High strike. Doesn't have to be very high to be high to Amarista. It's a strike. A tough one. Boy, that just paints the high inside corner. Swing and a miss. So after the home run, Jerko, 2 strikeouts for Blake Parker.
And Padre fans, you want to stay tuned after this one for Padres Live. Join Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney and the crew as they break down the ball game. Talk about Jed Jerko among other hitters. We're going to break down that swing. We're going to delve into the stats. Padres Live after the game right here on Fox Sports San Diego. Brought to you by Cox. Guys do a great job, don't they? The post game.
And Mike Pomerantz is the best. You know what you want to watch for now on that post game show? Not only all the highlights and all the information, but technique. Ooh. Forsythe has to back out of there because with a fireworks show, there's no one better than Pomerantz to be able to use his phraseology, all his language in between explosions of the fireworks. You know, and you get both at the same time.
And you can't get that anywhere else other than here on Fox Sports
right
San
here.
Diego. He's a trained professional.
8-6 Padres. Forsythe line to center, safe on an error. And scored in the 5th, and he tripled in a run in the 6th. That tied the game at 6. Then Venable gave the Padres the lead with a home run in the 7th, and Jerko's second home run makes it 8-6 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And true to form, the Cubs who have had trouble out of the bullpen. Russell comes in, gives up a home run. Parker has allowed a home run in his inning. Boy, how about the expression of Parker? He looks like he's in agony as he finishes his stretch.
I was going to say, Jed Jerko hit the first pitch he saw. The first pitch he threw.
Now watch the facial expression of Parker as he gears up for the throw. Line drive, base hit Forsythe. His second hit tonight. So Forsythe is 8 for the last 19. 9 for the last 19.
I like Logan Forsythe. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to be a factor. Short stroke. It's like you can't get it in on him quick enough because his hands are so quick.
Yeah, and those are the mistakes he's got to crush like that.
And he has. Especially here lately. Sorry, Dick.
Padres need a couple more base runners to get Venable up there, Tony. Henley is single, lined out, struck out. Well, you know the story, Mark Grant, that Tony Gwynn should have hit for the cycle.
Yes.
I mean, you had it, what, about 21, 22 chances?
I had a bunch.
But you were taken out of a game when you already had a double, triple, and a home run.
Yeah, I did. Jim Riggleman was our manager. We were winning like 13-0.
And you being the humble guy you are, you didn't say anything to him.
I get another shot. I came out.
Hundley sends a routine fly ball to right. Squeezed by Shearholtz, but the Padres add on. Jed Jerko, his second home run, left center and now right center. And Jerko's 16th of the season gives the Padres a 2-run lead. Sol. It was a rebellious comeback by the Padres, down 6-0. They lead 8-6, 3 outs away from victory, and Houston Street comes in looking for his 25th save of the year.
Guys, we talk about hitters being in grooves. We talk about pitchers, stringing together 6, 7, 10 starts. While Houston Street doing a fine job this year in 41+ innings. Opponents only getting 211 off the veteran right-hander. Last time out was an inning against the Pittsburgh Pirates, recorded a save. His 24th of the year, 25 this year in the save department for Houston Street.
In this run of the last 15 games, 15 and third innings, no runs, earned runs, only 5 hits, all singles in those 15 games.
He's hitting his spots.
Deanna Navarro, Nate Sherholtz, and Junior Lake. Top of the 9th for the Cubs. Navarro an infield hit and an RBI single to left. He's 2 for 4 tonight. First pitch strike. Padres with 3 home runs. 2 by Jerko, 1 from Will Venable. A couple of triples as well. Venable a triple and Forsythe a 3-base hit. A little muscle tonight from the men from San Diego. Right field, shallow in right center, long run Venable. And he's able to gallop into the gap and make the catch. And our Carl's Jr. star of the game is Jed Jerko. Tough call because Venable was deserving as well, but 2 home runs in a single trump a home run triple in a single as Jerko knocks in 4 and scores 2. A night to remember for the rookie from West Virginia. Hubba hubba. Nate Sherholtz, a 3-run homer himself. That was part of that 6-run first inning off Edinson Volquez. That seems like distant history, doesn't it?
I think something else that seems like distant history is Tim Stauffer's job he did from the first inning to where the 5th inning, wherever inning he came out of it. He gave the Padres an opportunity to get back in this game.
In a way, if you were going to give someone who is really deserving of a win tonight, he'd be the one.
Yeah.
But just the way it works out, Nick Vincent is the pitcher of record, working only 1 inning, but his timing was right. Padres took the lead while Vincent was the pitcher of record. 2 more outs to get.
That's paint. That is what Houston Street has been doing, as you mentioned, Dick, the last 15+ innings.
The ace from Austin, Houston Street. What do you think happened there? He was almost into the windup and he just decided to back off.
Backed off. Said, "Wait a minute, I don't like that. I don't like that sequence there. I don't like that pitch."
Didn't like the feel. Didn't like the pitch. Absolutely right, Tony. So just abort the windup, start from square one.
It's like someone serving and they decide, just to catch the ball, not swing at it. Out of play. But that's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
Once you get the motion going.
I saw Tiger Woods do that. He starts down, and he's the only dude I've ever seen stop in the middle of his swings and wait a minute, that's not right. Let me redo that again.
1-2 to Sherholtz.
I would think that, when something like that happens with somebody on base, you just have to keep on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be a balk.
Going,
yeah, especially from the stretch position.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sherholtz goes down swinging. 2 out here in the top of the 9th.
Oh, a little 2-seam action down the middle, swung out and missed. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated. Put your shirt back on, dude. Scaring me. Without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Well, he doesn't miss anything, Tony. One eye on the copy, one eye on the fans. Junior Lake, he takes a strike. Infield hit and a bunt single. 2 for 4 for Lake, using his legs for a couple of base hits. Padre fans on their feet, looking for that final out. That would square this homestand at 4-4. Entertaining Friday night of baseball, and then the fans have fireworks to boot as a plus tonight. But we'll see you out here tomorrow night, cap night. Line drive, base hit. Cubs are still alive. Rope to left off the bat of Junior Lake as he leads the Cubs with 3 hits tonight.
Give Junior Lake credit there. He got a hanging slider.
That brings to the plate Donnie Murphy, who has had the home run bat well at work in this month of August. 8 home runs in August. That equals the same total Miguel Cabrera, the Tigers, and Alfonso Soriano, the ex-Cub with the Yankees. A runner goes, defensive indifference. Looks like Street doing more of the talking in that exchange.
Well, that runner now at second base, make sure you're on the same page with the signs.
Murphy, 16 games, 8 home runs.
Career home run against Houston too, so maybe that was what that discussion was about.
Keep the ball away from him. Give him right field.
And yesterday at Wrigley against Steven Strasburg in the 9th inning, it was a clutch home run to tie the game off the bat of Donnie Murphy. The Nationals would prevail in extra innings. Low and outside, Hundley says. Just wide.
That's a ball. What do you think? Trax had it off the plate a little bit.
Hey, if you say it's a ball, then it's a ball. Okay? He said it was a ball, it's a ball.
Back to the mound. Street with the underhand toss, and the Padres with their biggest comeback of the entire season from 6-0 down, rallied to beat the Cubs 8-6. The home run bats of Jerko and Venable leading the way. Great relief pitching by Tim Stauffer and more, and you'll get it all as we go to Mike Pomerantz.
That's right, Dave.